Okay. So people can theoretically hear us now.
Theoretically. It'll take a minute to wake up.
Okay. I'm muting the Twitch tab so that I don't repeatedly hear my own echo.
Not a problem.
That does mean I get to miss out on the music, but yeah, oh well. I get to hear your sweet, lovely voice. Still.
So sweet. Hello, Lightning.
Hello.
Yes, it is the tournament.
Dun dun dun.
Hopefully no technical issues today.
Sorry, I don't have a very good setup.
Here, I might be able to adjust it slightly.
Okay. Okay. Oh.
PTT? What game is this? I'm not gonna have my webcam on because that apparently takes a lot of resources, but I will chug, I just can't prove it. Push to talk? I am going to refrain from trying to do technical stuff at the beginning because last time that did go well. Were any teams edited? Technically, no. One of the entrants in Ring 2 adjusted their personalities, but that's fine because that Ring 2 hasn't even started yet. And I did say that, hey, if you just need a personality adjustment before you fight, that's fine. So that's all. We are going to run a quick frames test to make sure that everything is smooth. Which it isn't.
No. I unplugged and replugged my headset, but I don't know if that did anything.
The thing that worries me is whether this is because I'm streaming to you and whether you might have to use Twitch.
Yeah, could be.
But I'm going to give it a bit because it usually wastes time warming up. I'm also gonna... Do I have anything else open on my computer that I shouldn't have? Right.
You usually do have like a million.
Yeah, I know I do.
Tabs open.
That's why that just occurred to me that I should probably check. Did Nemo have to last time? Yeah, last time Nemo was watching Word. Or watching Twitch. Dear, if you open Twitch, is it at least... Does it seem to work at all?
Let me go back to... The chat is hidden because I popped that out. Well, currently nothing seems to be in motion on the Twitch screen.
Here.
Oh, there's your mouse. There's your mouse. Okay. So should we disconnect the Discord call then?
Yeah, let me see if that helps.
See if that...
Doesn't, then that's going to be because then we're at the exact same position as yesterday. It does look appreciably better, and I haven't changed a damn thing from Tuesday. Give it a couple minutes to buffer stuff. Yeah, I do know about that at least.
Okay. Yeah, it's really choppy, but... I can still hear you. I think. It's quiet now.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that it smooths itself out here, basically.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think the jar would matter, but... Celsius jar too strong? No, doesn't seem to have made a difference. That's why I chose this particular mission, because the massive amounts of dust missiles are a very good stress test. I hear Discord pings, good idea, I need to turn that off. Getting better? Yeah, it seems to be buffering. Once it's a bit more reliably smooth, we'll, Did you adjust the stream resolution last time? Yes.
Well, things are happening. They're just happening slowly.
Yeah, it's starting to smooth out some, at least. Right, I need to turn off the pings.
Okay. Ping.
Come on, be consistently smooth for me.
Come on, game, you can do it.
Alright, it's getting better. Try running against my fleet to see what the FPS does to the hex cannons. Interesting thought.
Oh, that's looking smoother.
It is. Notice in testing their very short range, if frames start skipping. Yeah. It's always interesting when when a game's frames per second affects what's actually happening. This is looking potentially well enough to try playing the actual game. What is the difference since yesterday? In terms of my settings? Nothing. Nothing at all. That's a lot of missiles? Yes, it is. Alright, we appear to be pretty smoothed out. You can see everything, sweetheart?
You're cutting out for me a little bit.
Here, I have an idea how to fix that. How about now, dear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Alright. Looks like we smoothed out enough that we can actually run what we're here to do. I think.
Alrighty. Start your engines time.
Just about.
Cool. So
I'll
this
give
is
it just a
going to be-
minute more to make absolute sure, but
Okay. So this is going to be the latter half of round 1, right?
well, ring one. Remember, I made 2 different Robin rings to consist of round 1.
You did never explain this to me.
So the first ring consists of half of the entrance in a round robin. Second ring is the other half in another round robin, yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
Right. So, the very last fight we had last time was Pure Tilt versus Ramirez and Metal Slug, which was, aside from ASK, the most damage Tilt ever took. Which still wasn't much. The first fight we're going to have today is going to be Warrior versus Lightning. Now, Lightning only ever got 1 match yesterday, unfortunately.
Well,
So we don't know a lot about how this fleet's going to work. It's pretty generalist, along with the 4 different varieties of Shepherd. But
alrighty.
I think it looks well put together, at least.
Okay.
And then Warrior's fleet is 2 Paragons, 1 Spire, 1 Beholder, 2 Equalities, and a Skola, all fitted out with as many beams as possible. This is the Laser Light Show fleet.
That's gonna be fun.
Yes. Hey, Watermelon! I don't think I've ever seen you on stream. Hello. So first, to start off the day, this girl has EMP guns. Those are not beams. Shh. First, we're going to give everyone a bunch of lobsters. And then I'm going to begin the bets.
Alright.
The feeling when 1/8 is a good chunk for you, it is. I'll let the bet run for 2 minutes, during which I'll just talk about the fleets. The Paragon here, mostly this fleet is relying on Tachyon Lances, which...
Okay.
You remember what those are, sweetheart?
Vaguely.
These are a burst beam. Like, it only shows up for a little bit and does an immense amount of damage. Very traditionally, very good beam.
Okay.
We have tactical lasers, which are very weak but very long-ranged, and can fire over your friends. Gravitons, which are an anti-shield beam, albeit not an amazingly strong one.
Okay.
And the high-intensity lasers are a sustained explosive beam, so good if it hits armor. And that's most of what we got going on here. We do have paladins back here, which are really good point defense systems, though.
Okay.
Very
I mean,
traditional fleet, this.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have good point defense.
Also, the Paragons were named the Krispy Kreme and the Duncan.
Krispy Kreme is the superior donut.
Yes.
I'm just throwing that out there.
And I feel like it's difficult to comment on Lightning's fleet because it's very just generally good without a specific strategy. Warrior has most of the bets. I don't think there's anything left to do but to start the battle and see what happens.
Alrighty. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being just generally solid. And they're off.
The equalities can switch between a speed mode, a shield mode, and an offense mode, which is why their engines were glowing so bright just there. And still are. They're still in Super Cruise mode.
Yeah, I did try to watch some of day one, but the internet decided to peace out that day, so I was not able to see any of the proceedings before this.
Come on, Starsector, run a bit more smoothly than that.
You can do it. We mostly sort of believe in you.
Mostly, sort of. We do have a very tall versus wide thing here, as Smiling points out. Tall being mostly capitals, mostly strong ship, wide being, well, the opposite thereof.
Yeah, I know.
And that's an
I
equality
do
down.
remember that. Well,
Do you have Chrome open by any chance? No, I use Firefox.
alright, taking some
It does look like Warrior's
hits on both
losing.
sides.
Another equality down off to the side over here in just a moment.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be salvageable.
The problem with tall versus wide, if the tall isn't really good at popping the enemy fleet quickly, tall gets surrounded, flanked, and murdered. What are the blue missiles? Low tops.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing some damage, but they're not doing it fast enough.
I don't think they've even got a kill. No, they got a couple kills. Just not anything noteworthy enough. This the first match? Yes, it is, Beans.
Yeah, not enough to shift in their favor. Yeah, and they just lost. They're big boys.
Yeah, a tall fleet can't really afford losses. A wide fleet can.
Yeah, a wide fleet, you're building it pretty much assuming, okay, there's going to be some casualties here,
But that's okay.
but that's okay. Some of you may die. That is a sacrifice that I am willing to make.
Yes, that exactly. Too many targets, beams not focusing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a swarm now.
I was not expecting it to be that one-sided.
Yeah, me neither. But
Well, Lightning did lose about 26 DP, but that's not much of a loss. How many ships they lose determines what their total takeaway score is, dear.
I gotcha.
In this case, you know, obviously the loser loses all of their score.
Okay. Now this is stuff that I would have known if I had been able to tune in on Tuesday.
The funny part
That
is
was-
Lightning only had 20% of the bet.
Well. Yeah, Tuesday was the one day that our internet decided to conk out. I wanted to be all, you know, supportive and cheering you on, and Monday it was fine. Yesterday it was fine, but Tuesday it just...
Yeah.
Nope.
Let's see who we have next. That would be ASK versus Lightning. Okay, this is...
Okay.
So Lightning's only ever run twice so far. 1 loss, 1 win. The win we just had. ASK
Okay.
is completely undefeated and was the only one to beat Pure Tilt.
Okay.
So I think I know what the bets are going to look like, but...
Well.
To give you some idea, ASK has gone for sort of a phase fleet. This is the
Okay.
Leonberger phase battleship, but he's replaced the phase coils with a armor field instead, so it can't phase anymore, but it can reduce the damage it takes. These...
It's not a phase, Mom.
Wow. These Doogs, which can throw mines around, including a mine teleportation system, have had their phase coils replaced with being really fast.
Nice.
So again, no ability to defend itself, but it can go faster.
Okay.
These are the Octobers. Their whole thing is to stay way back out of the fight and use these really long-range strategic missiles, which worked quite well last time.
Okay.
And these Lurkers have a teleportation ability, a sort of a wonky one, and we're also given the speed up instead of phase thing.
Okay.
And then finally just one single Afflictor that had the armor thing given to it. This thing's ability is to increase damage on targets.
Okay. Cool beans.
Pretty standard weapons for the most part. You know, we have Needlers to break armor, a Grape Shot Cannon to smack the armor. The Octobers have their strategic missiles and very little else. The Doogs are mostly fitted out with these Hecaton torpedoes and like one blaster for if it has to fight something.
Okay.
And the Leonberger has an Ardent for point defense, kind of. It's in a sort of a weird spot for point defense, but hey. And a Hellbore Cannon for anti-armor. I assume it uses these machine guns for kinetic. That's what I assume his intent was.
Okay.
Betting is just about done. Naturally, ASK has nearly 90% of the bet. Let's go.
Alright.
I don't think anybody expects Lightning to win this. It is another example of tall versus wide, but ASK's strategy has been very effective.
Okay.
A couple of the Lamprey drones have been disabled. And a Tempest. And that Lurker
Wow.
disappeared somewhere over here. Another Tempest down. Another Lamprey drone. What can sustain losses? It just can't have that... you know, it only has so many.
Yeah, I mean, once you've lost everything, you've lost everything.
Oop, the Scarecrow yanked in Leonberger's face there. It's not going to appreciate that. Lamprey's Shunter destroyed. That's the thing that spits out the drones. Another Shunter down. Concerted effort by the Scarecrow to do any damage to the Leonberger, but it's not through the armor yet. And instead the Leonberger rams it.
Oh, ramming is a strategy.
And now it's pulling the Adventure. 2 Shepherds, the Moor, and the Consul are down. They are fairly quickly picking off Lightning's fleet, and it doesn't look like they're able to do much damage in response.
Guess this will be a lightning round.
Wow.
Well,
The thing about ASK's fleet is that it is total chaos,
I mean,
and that works really well against most fleets. there
I
goes the
mean,
renegade.
Chaos is a valid strategy.
You might remember that our Kingdom of Terror drill stuff worked with a similar premise.
Yes. It's just our drills got beat up pretty
We were
readily.
new to the whole scene. We did really well considering.
Yep.
I find it interesting the Scarecrow has left. I didn't think it would be that tough of a cruiser.
Well, good on it. It's getting surrounded though now.
Well, yes, of course it is. It's one of the only things left. Poor thing.
Yeah.
ASK didn't even take a loss there.
Wow.
Which is the first completely no-loss win.
Well, that's impressive.
Yep. In this case, it was not a mistake that ASK got most of the bets. Unfortunately.
I imagine not.
The first shame, yes. Did the Scarecrow have Storm Needlers? Indeed it did. As you can see here, it had Storm Needlers, a couple heavy mortars, and some Suowang Pulsars. Not a bad loadout by any means, just not sufficient for that.
Yeah, that came in pretty hard.
The next one we have here is Yui's Donkey Kong and Company fleet versus Warriors Laser Light Show.
Okay.
I'll set the bets up again. Windows updates. Sorry, Metal.
Who just won is the shoot. Not
Pure-
not lightning.
ASK.
ASK.
Yui's fleet is another kind of wide. These Lamprey Shunters spit out these drones here,
Okay.
and so they're able to increase your presence for somewhat cheaper than normal.
Okay.
We have a Clio here, which is a tiny frigate that just kind of spits out buffs.
Okay. Also, someone's asking if you can check the schedule again.
Ah. Yes, there was a mistake on the schedule. But that's okay. We'll just pretend it didn't happen. Sorry about that, Metal and Ramirez. I forgot to adjust the PvP matches schedule. To finish my explanation real quick of Yui's fleet, this thing has a ramming maneuver and 2 jackhammer mechs.
Okay.
And this thing has a ramming maneuver and is entirely front-loaded with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Typhoon Reapers and a Cyclone Reaper launcher.
Ooh.
Lots of red glares going on here. And then finally one big Gronendale,
Well.
which is mostly fitted out with a bunch of Needlers, more Reapers, bunches of dust missiles, dust bombers, and repair drones.
Okay.
Yeah, see, Metal, I knew what I was doing the entire time. I knew you'd have a Windows update. Totally. Right, the bets are actually in Yui's favor. Let's see how that goes. I can't bet I have no lobster. More lobsters incoming after this round.
And they are off.
Yeah, if you watch these guys closely, they'll spit those out as drones as soon as they get near something they don't like.
Yeah. Oh, yep, I see it. Kind of hovering.
For Warriors Beam Fleet to win, they have to kill these Lamprey drones and Shunters quickly, I think.
Okay.
Which they're entirely capable of doing if they focus. That's one Shunter down. Here comes the Colatlis, though, and the Mitigator.
Yeah,
If the Colatlis and the Mitigator can very easily ram these ships and send them flying.
Looks like they're trying to encircle.
Gronendale rescues the Colatlis. That equality is taking a lot of pressure from the mitigator. It's not even firing. Now it's firing. Where'd that Reaper go? Oh, ramming maneuver. Oh! Equality completely down. The mitigator's in a bad position now, but it took the equality with it.
Yeah, that might. Well, okay. This might end up being a 1-for-1.
And the Groenendale rescues the mitigator before it dies.
Well, not gonna be a 1-for-1.
Okay, that mitigator took a lot of damage, but it's not out yet. It can come back and do that again.
Well.
Which this mitigator here might just do to the Paragon. Yep, there it goes. It only knocked the Paragon out of the way. It's not able to capitalize on the overload because of how far it got knocked out of the way.
I noticed that the taller fleet, they're kind of bunching together.
They have to. They get surrounded. Haven't you noticed the lamprey drones on the sides here?
Yes.
Now, Yui's fleet is taking losses. All they've killed so far is the equality. They need to secure some more. Oop, that mitigator rammed from too far out. Now it's just really close. And it lost the armor. Lamprey drone down. The other mitigator is coming to back up his friend, but he's the wounded one.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot left in him.
He is in firing range of that equality, though, and he is forcing it to back off.
Okay.
The mitigators and the Collatless have relatively high armor values, so they're not going to die too easily. Groenendale comes in for the rescue again. That thing is pulling its weight. What mod is the Paragon from again? The Paragon is completely vanilla.
Feels like they're trying to herd the tall fleet.
That is a lot of Reapers aimed at the Paragon, and some of them are hitting. Ouch. The Paragon does not have heavy armor. It can't really afford to keep taking hits like that. It's going to, though. That's another one. And the Mitigator got around and rammed the Spire into the Groenendale. How'd the Mitigator get all the way over there? That's a dead Spire. Okay, one Paragon, one Equality, one Beholder left, and they haven't actually killed Yui's biggest ships.
Yeah.
They've done a lot of damage to the two Mitigators. And if they can kill those, they'll stand a chance, but...
I think that was a buddy bump.
It's fine, Yui's ships are trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
That Equality needs to back up. It needs to get next to its friend. Interesting choice of rescue, Groenendale, but it's not like it's not going to work.
I don't know. I mean, is that all the ships they have? I'm not sure. They can really come back from this.
The Collatless kills itself to kill the Equality, which unfortunately works in Yui's favor.
Yep, that was a 1-for-1.
And the Equality is worth a lot more than the Collatless. Not to mention, there's still two Mitigators left.
Yeah.
And the Paragon is distracted with a tiny drone.
Oh.
Yui has not actually won a fight yet, but this is what her fleet was supposed to do.
Nice.
It's nice to see it working.
Yeah,
The poor Beholder.
Does in fact seem to be working.
Well, there's no way this Paragon is going to survive two Mitigators.
No. There it goes. Okay.
We will watch you
Yeah.
until the end, Paragon. The problem is the Paragon might stand half a chance of killing one of them if it focused, but it's distracted with the Shunter and the Lamprey drone.
Yeah, it's getting surrounded. Which I think was the whole big problem that fleet had, is once it got encircled.
I do think based on what we saw that it wasn't a given result. I think that depending on luck and a certain amount of difference in how the AI functioned, Warriors certainly could have won this. But I do think that Yui's strategy played out quite well in this situation. Why did you both ram it after it died? All you did was risk killing each other.
Alright.
Alright, 35, 46, 7, 48, 50, 51. So 51 DP lost, but Yui won.
Yeah, those ships just wanted to bro-fist each other.
They might have taken a chunk out of Yui's score if they'd succeeded.
They ordered ramming maneuvers so that they could high-five each other. See, that's what I'm saying. They were just giving each other a high-five. Probably an ill-advised high-five, but, you know.
The Gronendale did an excellent job there. Repeatedly rescuing the mitigators. Our next fight is Astral Tour versus Donation Box. Let me set the bet. Now, Astral Tour has gone for a mostly classic phase fleet here. We have the Doom with its Mind Strike, some Reapers, some Needlers, and a bunch of Antimatter Blasters. We have Harbingers with Phase Lances and Mizoa Plasma Guns, which is a very bursty sort of glass cannon build. We have another Leonberger, this time one that can actually phase. With some very big shield breaker shotguns. We have an Aristeas with Cyclones up its arse. The Cyclone Reapers can't track, which means this thing has to turn all the way around to have a chance of firing those. Something the AI does not normally do. If we see it happen once during this entire tournament, that will be a victory. The other one has a Trebuchet, which is a better idea.
Trebuchets are fun.
And then Phase Paragons with basically a pair of miniguns and a fireball.
Okay.
These ones given time acceleration instead of actual phase. And a couple of Chihuahuas, because why not? Mm. Whereas Donation Box's fleet, we have some very classic Condors with longbow bombers. Another Doom, this one fitted out mostly with blacksmith missiles and lightning guns. A Monitor to be a distraction, more Chihuahuas. A Paragon with a somewhat more interesting build. We've got Tachyon Lances and Needlers. Auto pulses on the front, but also double IR pulses, just to help it with anything that gets close to it.
Nice.
We have a long series of HMI Junkers that have been safety overridden with your natural chain gun HMG Reaper Torpedo mixes. Roach Kings, Cockroaches, and Creeps. And then we have the Apatsud X. Which is just a lot of guns.
I mean, a lot of guns is a strategy.
It is a strategy. It is a fair strategy. The bets are exactly 50-50. Here we go. Feel like this might be the closest to an even round. I'm not sure who I think's going to win.
Still getting up close to each other. Okay, starting to have some crossfire now. Oh,
One Chihuahua dead on both sides.
they're starting to dance.
Those time-accelerated phase paragons can do a lot of damage very quickly, but they have no ability to defend themselves, and they are big targets.
Well.
So it's going to depend on whether they can kill their opponents before they get killed, really. The Leonberger is yanking the Apatsid around. I don't know how good an idea that is, because it yanked it into range of the Aristeas and got the Aristeas killed. Phasagon over here seems to be okay for right now. The Apatsid is still working off of the momentum from the Leon's yank, and not really paying for it in any way. The Phase Paragon's behind it, but the Phase Paragon doesn't want to get that close.
Yeah, the lots of guns is just being lots of guns right now.
And that's really working out for it. Astral Tour's fleet is for some reason not capitalizing on this and fighting against the rest of the fleet, which I guess might work, but they need to kill them faster.
Yeah.
These HMI Junkers are made to not go down for quite some time. If they distract Astral Tour's fleet long enough, then this is a given.
Down. Yeah.
Why is the Apatsid being piloted by Reimu? Because she wanted to. Why would you ask questions? Most of Astral Tour's small ships are down. Oh, and so is the Leonberger. Okay. That leaves the Phase Paragons, which aren't going to be amazing on their own.
Yeah, they're kind of letting the lots of guns ship just swoop around and be lots of guns.
Yep. This Roach King is nearly dead. The Phase Paragon might be able to kill it. It is regenerating its hull, though. So the Phase Paragon would need to kind of get in there. It's a bit distracted with this cockroach at the moment.
Well, cockroaches are distracting, I suppose.
Alright, it killed the cockroach. The other Phase Paragon is a expanding cloud of debris.
Oh boy.
This Phase Paragon might be able to kill a few of the Junkers. It did just kill a creep, but I think we know how this is going to end.
Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, they let the big gunship just...
Sort of have its way.
Yeah, have its way. And that did not work out very well for them.
What's that tracking red magic ball thing the Phase Gun has? That is the plasma lens projector. And when it hits the ship, it does damage all along the length of the ship. It's very cool and very dangerous.
Sounds very dangerous. Oh, yep, there it goes.
It appears that what we have left is a single distraction chihuahua. Which is kind of sad.
That is kind of sad.
Oh, that chihuahua has a Porphyrian blaster cannon. That's an interesting choice for a chihuahua. Oh, there's still a Harbinger over here as well. I don't know what the Harbinger is going to accomplish, though. Oh, there goes the chihuahua.
Well. Yeah, it's not going to be able to...
It's just about running out of flux. And there are some missiles being aimed at it.
Yeah, as soon as it's not able to stay in phase anymore, it's just going to get swarmed.
Matter of time. It's surviving so far. Oop,
So far.
Couple hits. This will take a while? Yes, it's going to probably take a bit. I might speed up.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm surprised there aren't any ships coming over here.
Oh, it's almost.
Really? Come on!
Yep.
I will witness your last moments however long they take! Oh, it's the Apatsid.
Okay, there we go.
Alright. They did take out a few ships, 8, 16, 24, 26, 28, 38. I didn't notice the loss of the Condor.
Okay,
But
well,
that's
so they
not...
did do some damage.
Yeah, not much though.
Mm.
That win belongs to Donation Box.
Well.
Didn't expect Donation to win. Yeah, it was a bit of a contentious result. Have some lobsters. The next one up is Lightning versus Donation Box.
Alright.
And I have no idea. I'm not sure. Because on the one hand, Donation strategy works out really well. He's got these two big things. He's got the Doom and the Condors for support. He's got some distractions, and then these HMI Junkers, which just last forever.
Yeah.
On the other hand, while Lightning hasn't had a great track record so far, we have seen that their strategy can work quite well if it can move quickly enough. So I don't actually know who I think's going to win here. I have a suspicion, but I wouldn't want to bias the bets. You can say whatever you want, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not gonna know any better than you do, so... I kind of am partial to the lots of guns. Ships. Because that's... Even if it's not the best strategy, that tends to be the sort of strategies I like. Just strap a bunch of guns to it and charge headlong into battle.
Donation has like 92% of the bet. My god. We all know who everybody who thinks gonna win. I mangled that sentence.
Well.
Cygnus, you can't bet twice. An Onslaught kind of gal, nice. Actually, if I remember correctly, you were a wolf kind of gal.
I did like wolves. I mean, they were everywhere. So it was easy to, like, get them. And you could do an awful lot with them.
During the campaign I introduced you to, I remember there were two things you did. You picked up every ship with a phase skimmer, and then you were collecting astrals.
Yes, I mean, astrals were just lying around. I mean, so that one game, two huge factions lived right next to each other, and they were also at war with each other, so they would keep fighting and having these huge battles and just bleeding ships, and I was neutral to both of them, so what I would do most of the time is just scavenge around for all the cool stuff that they left behind from the battle losses, and I'd take them home and fix them up. And
I'll give my opinions on that story after we see this fight. Because I have to talk about this now.
yes. Alright, we have, well, not first blood necessarily, but first shots fired.
I always prefer a pirate hull that actually has some uniqueness, Beans. I hate pirate hulls that are just worse version of hull. That's a shunter down. We do have a Roach King back here that has already lost all its frontal armor and quite a bit of hull. And the Akitsushima just took a bunch of damage to its gun module. And the Paragon just took a bunch of damage to its armor for not shielding. Why?
That does seem odd.
The Akitsushima is going to lose that gun module if that Pirate Venture keeps low-topping it. Oof. That Starliner is dead, though. The Apatsid is right on top of it. The console died. The Renegade's doing okay. For now. The thing is, even if the Apatsid loses its gun module, there's a lot of Apatsid left to go.
Yeah, it's kind of a big ship. It is hurting though. It needs to watch itself.
It is able to regenerate some of the hull, though.
Okay, well that's...
And it looks like the Pirate Venture ran out of low tops. And most of the stuff back here isn't super heavy stuff, so the Apatsid's probably going to have its way. So the question is, how well are things going up over here? If Lightning is going to win, they need some kills. Relatively soon.
This looks more like a standoff that... Not seeing a whole lot of blood on the battlefield over here.
Couple of drones dying, but not much happening. This Renegade and this Paragon seem to be nervous about engaging each other.
Oh, hi otters.
Otters! Howdy! Good to see you.
It is indeed tied for ramming speed.
Oh, you missed the ramming speed battle. Don't worry though, I think Yui has a couple more fights. If this fleet would converge on the Paragon's high on flux, and that would be an advantage for them. Right now, though, Lightning is just slowly bleeding ships.
Yeah.
And Donation is not. There goes the Venture P.
Yeah, both sides up top are kind of trying to dance around each other, it seems like.
And now that the Apatsid's finished most everything down here, no, it seems to be distracted by little things. It could ram up right into the carriers back here. Donation Box really hasn't lost anything.
No. I mean, yeah, their big gun ship was taking a good bit of heat earlier, but it seems to...
That's no longer the
free range
case.
Again now, yeah. Yeah, seems to have shaken off its foes. Or more accurately, reduce them to space rubble, but...
Yes. Yep, it's coming up on the back now. That means that Lightning is now in a pincer maneuver. And it was already not going well for Lightning, so this will probably clinch it.
Yeah.
The Scarecrow is trying to face off the Paragon by itself. That's not going to end well.
Nope.
The Scarecrow is not weak, but it would have needed help to pull something like that off. It is at least pressuring the Paragon. If it could get any help. Like, from the Renegade, say.
Hey guys, back
Oh!
up.
They somehow killed the Doom. I didn't even see what happened. Okay, that is a somewhat noteworthy loss for Donation Box. Doom is not cheap.
Well.
Renegade shot it. The Renegade hasn't been doing much, so I just kind of wrote it off.
Well. There's another one down.
Yeah, losing those vortexes isn't great, because the vortex is kind of expensive because of what it can do, speeding up the fighters it has, and some very heavy fighters were put in them. So it's good to keep them around. It's bad to lose them. They're one of the things that you can't afford to lose as much. You know what I haven't seen, though? The
What?
HMI Junkers don't seem to be doing a lot of work. Are they all just distracted with... Yeah, I guess they've all been distracted with little things.
Well,
Huh.
I mean, distraction by little things is very much a thing.
Yeah, Thoggo, donation boxes results have been up and down, so it's not just the Dreadnought.
Well, yeah, they're trying to keep their distance up there.
My ships appear to be scared to engage. I would agree, Lightning. For most of this battle, that does seem to have been the case.
Leaking in their little metal boots.
The top fleet has 0 super caps. The Doberman is certainly a very heavy capital. Although, it depends on your definition of top fleet. ASK doesn't have a super capital at all. Taken to pieces.
Yep, it's just... Yeah, it's just waiting at this point, I think,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
for just a few things to get taken out. Lightning did manage to kill the Doom, though, so that is a somewhat sizable little nick taken out of the score. So
Yeah, if you're gonna
37,
go
39,
out-
41, 49.
You want to go out, you know, with a bang.
But Donation Box is doing really well. Overall. During the first stream, he certainly had a rough time of it, but he's doing much better now.
That's good. I like a good comeback.
Ah, right, the bet. Donation box. Can't be forgetting to give people their lobsters.
No. You were gonna say something about my ship scavenging.
It was something I have never seen in any campaign or any game ever since. I don't know what the hell she did with the generation. I'm the one who set it up. I have no idea what happened. It was all in hyperspace. Huge, I mean massive hegemony and Stormhawk fleets were constantly, and I do mean constantly, at war with each other. And so there's this one section of hyperspace that was just always littered, scattered everywhere with ships from those two factions. I have never seen it happen ever again. I have no idea how it happened.
It was fun though.
It was fun. Right. It's time for Metal and Ramirez to fight Warrior.
Alright.
Now, you weren't here for Metal and Ramirez last time. Their whole thing is extremely long-range ships and then extremely defensive ships, which, you know, you could get from the name.
Okay.
Let me set the bet. It was during an odd next bug that made too many fleets spawn. That sounds about right. So, first off, we've got an equality here, but this time with Eradicator Assault Lasers, which is a pirate laser. We've got some Adjudicators with Guardian and Styrex guns, which are just very long-range guns. We have an Onslaught with a Hephaestus, some Hypervelocity Drivers, Aegis Flak, which I really like as a point defense, some Destruction Chihuahuas. Here's one of the more interesting ones. These Vortexes are fitted with Falk's Super Interceptors, which have an engagement range of 8,000, and Vic Viper Super Assault Fighters, which are an incredibly dangerous and incredibly expensive fighter, also with 8,000 range. We have an Astral that's fitted out with a bunch of bombers. And then we have the star of the show. Metal's Dunsaith, which has HEX heavy cannons that he has somehow managed to get to be work at a ludicrous range. And I love it.
Well.
The bets are mostly in Metal's favor because aside from Tilt and ASK are the two strongest fleets. Metal is in right behind them so far.
Okay.
Metal and Ramirez, I should say. They were a team. I keep referencing Metal because he's the one I talked to the most. Which is
that's fair.
It's slightly unfair of me.
Well, I mean, it's slightly unfair of you, but it's fair to. Like, it's understandable why that's what happens.
Them up against
And you're-
Warrior's fleet is interesting because those HEX cannons can be shot down, they're projectiles.
Okay.
I believe in me if no one else will. Yeah, the bets aren't... I mean, you do have 20% of the bet. Metal and Ramirez made a really good fleet here, and I am excited to see how it does against some of their matches in future, but I also think that this is going to be an interesting fight.
New.
Because while Warrior has had a hard time of it, his fleet is not badly made. 1 equality versus 2. I mean, the Adjudicators are coming to help.
Yep.
As are the Super Fighters. Okay, watch that Dunsaith. You see those bright glowing cannons? Do you see from how far away that's hitting?
That is pretty. That is a lot of range.
Yep. That equality is already overloaded. Too many things hitting at the
Yep.
same time.
Yeah, that's glowing.
And down.
Yep. Blow it up.
Beholder down.
Ooh. Alright, well.
Astral for the
First
win.
blood. Yep. Yeah, I'm partial to the Astrals because of aforementioned mega astral scavenging.
Yes. Sorry for pausing there. For some reason my music stopped.
That's alright.
The Vic Vipers have entropy amplifier? I think they do. Ow! That was a bunch of hex cannons right into the flank. Put your shield up, Paragon. Rigged. Pause rigging. Aggressive equalities may have been a mistake. Possibly. The equality is well suited for that sort of thing.
Their ships
Metal and
keep-
Ramirez are probably going to win here just because they can outrange their opponents and kind of choose their engagement.
Yeah, the other side keeps getting glowed up.
That might also be the Dunsaith Dragon, because its system has been disabled, and it might be trying to click on it. Those Eradicator Assault Lasers aren't as strong as Tachyons, but they do really good if you've managed to strip the armor away. That poor Spire should have stayed back.
There it goes. And that one was just getting slowly whittled.
That equality is probably out.
Yeah, everything is just glowing red hot now.
It looks like one of Metal and Ramirez's Vortexes decided to face tank the Paragon, though, so it's not a shame.
Boom and boom.
Why?
Really not a shame. Yep, they're coming for it. There it goes.
Okay, well that takes their point loss from 4 to 18. Why did it do that?
Well,
Ah, well. That is a win for Metal and Ramirez.
woo.
What's our next fight? That would be Yui and Lightning. Okay.
Okay.
Both these fleets have had kind of an up and down so far.
Alright, so this should be interesting.
Yeah,
No clear favorite.
I certainly want Yui to do well because I want to see ramming happen. Here's the bets. Are we seeing the other half of the first round of the stream? Yes, that's what we're currently doing, Beans.
See, Beans called it a round as well.
Oh, Listen. All of you are subject to whatever I'm doing. You have no choice in the matter, no matter what words you use.
You read that line without so much as a stutter. You accept it.
Thought there was fleets we haven't seen yet? Yeah, in the second ring, I split all the entrants up into 2 round robins. So there's 8 whole fleets that have not yet been seen.
Pew, pew, pew.
The bets are about 2/3 in Yui's favor.
Okay.
So it looks like people are generally confident in Yui's ability here, probably because of that glorious ramming maneuvers we saw earlier. How long is today's stream going to be? I don't know.
Well,
We'll go until we don't.
I mean, you know what time I have to pop off.
When is that, by the way, from here?
I
I
told
think you
yesterday.
said 7?
7 your time, yes.
Yes, okay.
Because my cat will be most displeased with me if I don't feed her when it is dinner time.
Alright, the bets are still about 2 to 3. Or, well, 2/3 in Yui's favor. Let's see how that actually plays out. Both sides are using those lamprey shunters, so there's going to be a lot just kind of flying around.
Oh. That one's making a bold step forward.
Yep. And there go all the little lamprey drones. I'm sure they'll have lots of fun together.
Yeah, both these guys have lots of little things kind of floating around.
Lightning is definitely wider, so it'll be a matter of whether Yui's strategy can significantly reduce their fleet. And the mitigator gets overloaded and chooses to ram, and bonks the renegade away, overloading it in the process. Now the question is whether the mitigator has enough armor to survive the position it's gotten itself into. It blew up the Starliner. Well, that does work. Here comes the Colatlis with another ramming maneuver.
Bonk. Bonk.
Gronendale rescues the mitigator. The chaos has begun. This other mitigator needs to get in there and do some help. Starliner, no! It looks like the Colatlis might be the first of Yui's fleet to, the first of Yui's serious ships to die here. Its ramming maneuver was somewhat ill-advised.
Yeah, it's caught now.
I say as it rams away. Unfortunately, just in front of the Renegade. Which isn't going to help much.
No.
And the
That's it.
Gronendale is taking way too much flux and might be the next to die unless the mitigators get up here.
Yep, there it went. There it went.
One of the mitigators is over here, but not able to support the Gronendale. It did kill the Venture P, though, rather quickly, come to think of it. But the Gronendale looks like it's gonna die. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just sitting there. And now it's not.
Yui still has her mitigators left, but that might not be enough. Well, did kill a
Yeah.
Vortex just there. That helps.
Well, at least if they die, they'll have taken a good bit with them.
Yep, can't argue that. And they've still got some Lampreys and Shunters hanging around to act as distractions, but then again, so does the enemy. As this mitigator is demonstrating, trying to ram one of the small things.
Yep, there's still a lot of little stuff scattered around.
This mitigator down here, nearby the Renegade, is probably where we're going to see anything more interesting happen.
Yeah, because that's where some of the other side's bigger ships are.
Rams and murders 2 frigates. I feel like that wasn't the best ramming choice, but it certainly got rid of some of the distractions that was irritating it.
Yep.
It lost its armor thing in exchange for that, though, which may not be good.
Yeah.
The Renegade is not a weak capital.
Yeah, they can't really... Any loss they take now is going to really be felt.
This mitigator over here is still fine. This one is not. And is choosing to vent in the enemy's face. Bold strategy. It's not dead yet.
That's not dead yet.
But it is mostly there.
Yeah, I feel like yet is the operative word there.
Well, this mitigator is going after the Scarecrow. Oh, and that mitigator's dead.
Yeah.
So, despite the bets, Lightning might have this.
Well, put on lightning.
Yui can still cause a lot of damage, and it's not impossible for her to win, but...
I mean, that's a pretty...
It's extremely unlikely, just not impossible.
Yeah, it's a pretty steep uphill battle.
I think one of Yui's Chihuahuas just killed itself on the mitigator.
Oh.
That's kind of sad. Ooh, Reaper to the Mora's face.
Yeah.
Biggest thing lost by lightning is the Starliner. That happened right out the gate. It looked like Yui had momentum. And the Mora is down. That is a somewhat noteworthy loss for lightning.
Yeah, it is no more.
Mitigator rams and overloads the Scarecrow and a Shunter. Don't know how it's going to capitalize on those, though.
Oh yeah, it's not in great position. Oh, just get some...
No, it's in a pretty awful position right now.
Yeah, got some good shots fired off, but now it's vulnerable.
It did just send a couple Mjolnirs up the Scarecrow's arse. It has very little hull left.
Yeah.
It is possible for that mitigator to get a lot of kills here if it goes optimally. But that relies on it...
optimally, it is the operative.
Yes. Oh, another ram.
Oh.
Killed a drone, overloaded the Renegade, and sent a Reaper right into the Renegade's face.
Boom.
I think it's too surrounded now, but that mitigator is not, you know, it is still a threat.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be able to pull off a win, but it fought valiantly.
It did. Another ram smacks the Renegade one last time.
Death ram.
And it's down. There was a chance it could have killed the Renegade there if it had focused and sent some Reapers downrange.
Well,
It was not to be, though.
songs will be sung of its valor.
That was, I think, closer than people were giving it credit for. I was serious when I said the mitigator still could have killed all of Lightning's fleet, and I think we saw where that potential was.
Yeah, but once you get down to just one ship, and
Yui
you
built
have
them really
enough to
well.
surround. Yeah.
Ultimately, though, lightning has it.
Yeah.
Alright. See, 30, 46, 60, 69, ha 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 ha, 77. And then the bet. Alright. That was actually a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, that wasn't a sure thing.
Now we have Astral Tour's interesting little phase fleet versus Yui's ramming maneuvers.
Alright. Ramming in phases is an interesting combination.
This is another one of those where I really don't know what the interactions are going to look like.
Yeah,
Cutting the bet duration down to 1 minute for this one, because we're all very familiar with what these fleets are.
well, except for me, because I had no internet on Tuesday, but...
You have seen them fight now, at least, though.
yes. But, you know...
What's with the DP variants? Certain hulls were artificially DP upgraded. It's just that the mission doesn't reflect that. So yes, a penalty more to you. Alright, bets are pretty close. Slight advantage to Yui.
Alright.
I can't tell who will lose, but I'm not betting on myself. I assume Sunders is one of these people, just with a different name for Twitch then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Alright. Here we go.
Alright.
If the phase guns get rammed, they're going to die. Leonberger immediately gets in there and kills one of the drones. Phase guns are doing their work, murdering some shunters.
Yeah, that is not a shy ship.
Getting in there and getting work done is what they need to do, but it's also what Yui's fleet needs to do. So it's going to be a matter of who's better at it.
Yeah, who's better at getting in there and...
Now, the
Holding
problem
my
is,
punches.
the phase ships could easily get around to the mitigator's flank, and the mitigators are all frontal facing in terms of their weaponry. So that is a concern.
Very true.
This phase gun is taking Mjolnirs to its face, which isn't good for it. And now Reapers to its... Yep, that's what I was afraid of. The phase gun cannot afford to be in front of these things. That is half the phase gun's hull down.
Ouch.
And it has no flux left, and it's just taking Mjolnirs one after the other.
Yeah, that was too brash.
Much too brash. Leonberger is gonna play Reapers with a mitigator, but the mitigator is going to win that particular contest. Leonberger doesn't have flux left either.
Oh.
It is trying to terrify the Colatlis, but it's getting shot at by the mitigator.
Well,
The Colatlis, meanwhile, is trying to ram something that's in phase space. And is probably going to
Oh.
get itself killed.
hey, look who showed up.
Who shut up? Badger! Good to see you.
Hey, Badger.
Yeah, the Colatlis is dead.
Well,
Gronendale! No! Don't rescue the Colette! Let's let the Colette die! You're more valuable!
Oh no. Oh no.
You don't even have any support next to you. Okay, you did just do a bunch of damage to the Leonberger, I guess. Your Gronendale's not, you know, incapable of combat.
No, it's just it did put itself into a very bad place.
The Phasgon exploded with quite some violence. Look at those parts fly.
Yeah, that's... Well...
And this Phasgon is repeating the mistake its brother made.
That's...
Don't just sit there and take that! Oh, the Leonberger's dead. The Leonberger's dead. Did the Gronendale kill it? Wow.
Boom. Wow, yeah, I didn't...
And this Doom
didn't-
got rammed. Didn't
I
think I'd see
didn't-
that. Oh, Gronendale's dead. So much is
quite
happening.
expect this. Yeah, I didn't quite expect this.
That Doom is taking dusts up the arch from the Gronendale. Not quite a post-mortem kill, though.
No.
Okay, well, most of Astral Tour's heavy hitters are dead, but he does still have that Phasgon.
He does.
The Doom's dead now, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yep. That's gone.
Oop, Phasgon narrowly dodges the Reaper from the mitigator. It's using a piece of debris to help it fight. Unfortunately, there is a second mitigator.
Yep.
Go on, ram the Phasgon, do it! Come on! Don't get
Come on,
distracted.
it's right in front of you.
Oh, the Aristeus is still alive. Both Aristeuses are still alive. Fascinating. Even in death, Daddy Gronendale protects. Incoming ram? Probably. I mean...
Yeah, because there's two of them pointed at the... Well, the one's kind of pointing away now, but...
They can just keep slowly killing it with the Mjolnir cannons, though, honestly.
They can. A ram would be more fun.
Especially if it gets close.
Come on.
I mean, the Phasgon needs to get close to have a chance at killing it, but the smart thing to do would be to get around it.
Yeah, it needs to get around the side or through the back where it doesn't have all the concentrated firepower.
This mitigator is gone off to do something else entirely. It got bored. And the Phase Paragon died. I don't even know what to.
Well,
At this point, it's just a matter of the rest of Astral Tour's fleet getting caught. Which is gonna be a bit difficult because Yui's remaining ships are mostly slow. But
I
it'll
mean-
be a CR win if nothing else.
yeah, they can't run forever, but yeah, that is the one problem with little ships is they can kind of dance around if they stay out of the way.
Beans, I apologize, but every single test I put the phase gone through, if I left it with normal phase, it was awful. It doesn't have the mobility to handle being as big a target as it is, and having to deal with the flux.
It can't make it through a battle unfazed.
Yep. Time acceleration was the strongest phase gone I've seen. I think there are ways to make phase capitals work. But the phase paragon is not there right now. That poor Aristeus, that was so overkill. Alright, Cyclone Ars Aristeus. Do
I
it!
mean-
Do the thing!
There's no kill like overkill.
It's not gonna do the thing, it's gonna die. Yep. Alright, what's left of Astral Tour's fleet? There's a Harbinger there, which is trying to stay in phase desperately. There's another one here, which is doing the exact same thing. And is dead.
Well,
I think all that's left is this Harbinger?
it does not want to engage.
That is such overkill. 7 Reapers, was that? 6?
They didn't hit, but That does seem a bit excessive for the size of ship.
And right before timeout.
There we go.
Alright, Yui did lose the Gronadale, which is a not insignificant chunk. 26, 98, exactly 100 points taken out, I think. Unless my math is wrong. But a victory nonetheless. For our dear Yui. I have a moment of paranoia every time I finish the bet where I wonder, am I making sure to click the right one?
Yep, I feel that.
Ooh, okay. Metal and Ramirez versus ASK. ASK and Metal versus Metal and Ramirez is the one big fight between the frontrunners that hasn't happened yet. Here's the bets.
All right.
It's time! And I'll give everyone a few lobsters for those of you who didn't have any left.
Oh.
Now, there are two ways to look at this. Either
Alright.
ASK's total Chaos Fleet is just going to take them apart the way they do most fleets, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, most of ASK's fleet is missing their phase coils and has no way to defend themselves. They rely on that chaos and moving really quickly. Metal and
Nice.
Ramirez have significant potential to deal unholy damage to ships that cannot defend themselves. The Dunsaith's hex cannons will be devastating. We have a bomber Astral. We have super fighters on the vortexes. There is an onslaught, and the Eradicator lasers here will quickly melt through any ship that has its armor stripped, which is going to be all of them if they unphase for even a moment. And none of them can phase in the first place except the Octobers. The bets are in ASK's favor, about 2/3 of them, but we'll have to see.
All right.
It's going to
moment of
be
truth.
whether ASK can get melted down before his chaos takes over. That lurker was... The lurker is dead. That lurker is dead. That was
Yeah.
immediate. That is
Yeah,
exactly what ASK has to avoid.
Yeah, that was. And the other one's glowing. Yeah, that was ill-advised, to put it very lightly.
So Chihuahua's lost on Metal and Ramirez's side. The Dukes are taking hex cannons. Leon Berger's here, smacking around the Arbitrator. Killing the Arbitrator, sorry, Adjudicator. And the other Adjudicator is also dead. Leon Berger is already taking massive damage from the Eradicator lasers.
Yeah.
Dunsaith is getting harassed by a Duke and is taking some significant damage.
Yep, they're getting too close and personal.
Yep, that Dunsaith needs to say the Dunsaith is going to die. So I think ASK will have this, unfortunately. There it goes. A very strong start for Metal and Ramirez, but I think ASK is going to take it.
Yeah, they're getting serious now.
This other lurker may well die, though. Astral's
Oh,
dead.
yeah, that.
Oh, Leonberger just lost almost all of its hull to those Eradicator lasers. The Equality may kill it, but the Dukes are going to help prevent that.
Yeah, there is a lot of bloodshed on both sides of this battlefield.
The Equality gets sent into the lurker and kills it.
Boom. Yeah, that poor ship had barely any hull left.
All that's left is the Onslaught. and it is getting heavily harassed. I don't think it'll manage a kill before it goes.
Oh yeah, it's kind of getting pushed and shot.
Yeah, it's because these Dukes have a bark system that deals quite a lot of push force, and now the Onslaught is flying away.
Yeah. It's like retreat.
The Lurkers were immediately murdered, but unfortunately, Metal Ramirez weren't able to concentrate enough damage on the remainders to secure the kills.
Yeah. Alright, it's trying to come back.
The Leonberger is actually one of the least offensive ships. It's mostly to do that, yes. The Onslaught could theoretically kill it. It's just that all of the other ships would have to leave it alone for that to happen.
Yep. Yeah, it's trying to have a brave and valiant death by getting back in the fight, but I don't think that strategy is going to work out too well for it.
You can have a hug, Otters.
Yep.
Casually kills the Afflictor with flak cannons. That's kind of funny.
Boo.
And then the Leonberger smacks it around so that it takes those strategic missiles to the face. That was mean.
Yep.
To the arse, sorry. Well, ASK did lose both Lurkers and the Afflictor for a total of 98 points lost, but it is his win.
Yep. That was a brutal fight. Those fleets tore each other apart.
Whew. Man, I wanted Metal and Ramirez to take more chunks out of ASK's fleet there. They almost did. That Leonberger came very close to death.
Just not close enough.
The Dukes, I think, are one of the main things. They are very fast and just keep punting things around really hard.
Yeah, I've noticed having a couple good repositioning ships in your fleet can sometimes really help.
Yep. Our next fight is Warrior versus Astral Tour. Astral Tour hasn't been having a good time, and laser light shows are a classic phase counter, so I imagine Astral Tour is going to continue not having a good time.
Well, we can still root for the underdog a little bit, you know, out of fairness.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes.
Yep.
I mean, it's not as though Astral Tour's fleet is bad. Certainly those Phasagons could get in there and get some kills done. The problem is that Warrior's fleet is tall. There's no small thing to kill.
Yeah, your strategy has to be a good strategy against the opponent's strategy, is the thing.
I don't think Astral Tour's won a match yet.
Oh, well. Well, we could still give a little bit of underdog hope.
Although, neither has Warrior. So this is sort of an underdog match.
Alright.
The bets are in Warrior's favor, for obvious reasons. This is a match that will break losing streaks, yep. One of the losing streaks is going to break.
Watch it somehow be a miraculous tie.
That's not impossible.
It's not impossible.
Unlikely, I think, with ships that aren't bombs or rammers, but not impossible.
No.
Or it could be such a drag-down fight that the one side that won got almost no points, which is close enough.
Yeah.
Those equalities are a little too far up.
Yep.
That is a lot of lasers.
Yeah, the first ship to the front usually has a difficult time surviving.
Leonberger starting to take heavy damage. Ow, and got EMP'd up the arse. That Leonberger is very trapped. tries to take the equality over to itself.
Oh, bonk.
It's nearly dead, though. Equality is taking some damage. Leonberger dies and takes the Doom with it because the Doom unfazed.
Oh no.
That is unfortunate.
That is unfortunate.
One of the Aristeas gets too close and gets immediately popped. This Phasagon is just slowly taking damage from beams because it has to stay unfazed to try and do anything. Both of them are.
Yeah,
Nope,
they're being a little too aggressive. They need to try and swing around.
Well, they have to. They're trying to kill this equality while it's still in high flux. It's not the wrong thing to do. It's just they can't sustain the lasers. There goes one.
Boom.
The other Aristeas is dead. This Phasagon is going to die. To the Eric's fighters, it looks like. Or no, Conjalis. Those are Conjalis. I apologize. Yeah,
This is...
the remainder of Astral Tour's fleet isn't capable of killing these capitals.
Yeah, this was a more one-sided match.
Please, no shame. That would be awful if the losing streak gets broken with the other side shamed.
That would be extremely sad, yes.
Those fighters don't use beams. Disqualified!
They have a couple little guys still floating around. Oh, he's...
As soon as it unfazed, it died. As soon as it unfazed, it died.
Yeah, that...
And there goes the
Yeah.
Chihuahua.
You can't hold yourself in a position like that and then unphase.
Yep, shame. Congratulations,
That-
warrior. You
That-
broke your losing streak.
That...
Harshly. Second shame of the tournament.
Well...
That stings.
Yeah, that was a pretty thorough smackdown.
Astral Tour has one more match against Lightning that he could win.
Okay.
But first, we have Metal and Ramirez's lovely fleet versus Yui's ramming maneuvers. I love
Alright.
both of these fleets aesthetically, so I'm actually excited.
I pretty much like anything that has explosions and glowy bits, so...
Before I start the bets, I will distribute slightly more lobsters. And here we go.
Alright.
Didn't Astral Tour put his fleet together in a big hurry at the last minute? Yes. The day of the deadline, Astral Tour went, I want to join, and slapped something together to submit to me.
Well, I mean...
And you know what? In fairness to Astral Tour, he came up with something really neat, and I really like watching his fleet every time because it is interesting. I am happy with what he gave me last minute.
Yeah, I mean...
Not at all disappointed with him.
Yeah.
Alright, the bets are heavily in Metal's favor here. About 3-1.
Yep, it is
I do
amusing
wonder
to watch.
if the
That is
ramming
what's
maneuvers
important.
close combat stuff is going to close the range gap, though.
Hmm.
Let's find out.
Alright. Let's start the bloodshed.
Amusing to watch, and that's the important part? Yes, it is.
Yes.
I kind of want to see what happens when an Onslaught Burn drives a Charger. If you mean a Mitigator, I want to see too. I think the Mitigator wins. Because it's built to ram.
Yep, as long as everybody has fun and gets to shoot a lot of big fancy glowing things, I think it's overall a success.
Alright, relatively mild meeting of the sides here. Those hex cannons using their extreme range to try and pick off the lampreys and shunters.
Nope, we don't have one brave ship charging headlong into the enemy like last few times.
Mitigator getting a little too much for its own safety.
Yep, you're pushing yourself up there a little bit.
Should have his friends join him.
Yep, you need backup. You need to back up or get back up.
Got its armor taken off, and decides the correct response is a ramming maneuver to get right in the Equality's face.
Of course.
Which, the Equality's high on flux, this might actually work out for it. The Mitigator, I mean. Oh, Groenendale swap. Huh, I don't know if that was a good move or not. I'm here from the
Well.
Escape Velocity Discord. I have no idea what's going on, but this game looks really cool. It is. It's very cool. Stick around. Oh, Calatlas ramming the Equality. Doesn't overload it, just sends it away. And then begins to take punishment from the Astral.
Yeah, that was just a punt.
Oh, is this Mitigator gonna ram the Onslaught? Please ram the Onslaught. I don't know what that Mitigator is doing. Calatlas is disabled. Metal and Ramirez are not winning with the speed that I thought they might.
Yeah, this hasn't been immediate total carnage.
Ramming maneuver. Ow. Right in the Onslaught's nose cone. Took a fair bit of hull off of it.
Ooh.
But the Onslaught is now all the way over there, which is more in favor of the Onslaught, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Adjudicator down. Shunter down. This is more or less equal at the moment. It is in Metal and Ramirez's favor.
Yeah, this is ranging all over the place.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what's going to happen. Groenendale swaps for I'm not actually sure why. Adjudicator gets killed,
Maybe it was bored.
and Mitigator gets killed.
Alright.
So there's a Mitigator left that's injured, and a Groenendale, and some distractions. So Metal probably has this, but we have seen before that the Mitigator can do a lot of damage very fast if it's lucky. That is a lot of dust missiles. Can the Saith handle that? Ah, it has an Omni Shield. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Well.
It is taking a lot of flux as punishment, but the Groenendale is not a combat capital the same way the Saith is, so...
No, and it is a little bit far back.
Yes. It's far enough back it can't hit, the Saith can totally still hit it. And the Astral's providing missile and bomber support, so the Groenendale is about to die, I think. Mitigator's coming up to do something, though. I wonder what that will be.
Yeah.
Sorry, Groenendale.
Nice ram to the face would probably be
There goes the Groenendale.
in order. Yep, rest in peace.
The Saith was built to 1v1 a Groenendale? Kinda, yeah. Yep, ramming the Equality. Sending it away. It would have been able to kill those vortexes, but it's been overloaded. And there's the hex hits from the Saith.
Yeah, it was a valiant effort.
Is there something left? It says 0%. Oh, there's a Lamprey drone.
Well,
And hex hits. Alright.
yep.
Oh, there's another drone! Christ!
Well,
Is there another drone? Yes, there is. No, there isn't. Are we done? We're done. Well, that was a contentious thing for a while. Metal and Ramirez did lose both their adjudicators. But, nope. Pretty solid win for them.
Yep. At least they took something out.
Yeah. It wasn't entirely one-sided.
Not entirely.
But it was still, in the end, a fairly dominant win for Metal and Ramirez, which isn't too surprising.
Yeah, it was a lot more spread out of a battle, but...
Okay. Now it's still Metal and Ramirez, but this time against Lightning. Which, I'm not sure how this will work. Because Lightning has not had an amazing time of it. They did beat Yui, and they did beat Warrior.
They have had some wins.
Lightning has a pretty decent fleet, I think. But I'm not sure it's enough to beat the strategy that Metal and Ramirez have. And the bets are heavily in Metal and Ramirez's favor. Yep, figures.
Yep, seems to be a bit of a favorite.
Can I just call you guys Metrez instead?
I mean...
A mouthful.
Metrez works for me, if it works for them.
Let's see how this goes.
Alright.
Renegade burns up. Metrez. Sure enough, the equality's up front. Here we go. Hex cannons already coming in on the flanks.
Boom.
Lots of low-top missiles coming in to smack the equality back. It managed to get its Bastion shield up in time, though.
Yep, they're keeping the lines a little separated, but they're still close enough to send a lot of hurt out to each other.
Little war between fighters and bombers and the like there.
Yep. Yeah, the big ships are, for the most part, keeping a little bit of distance.
Pirate Venture dueling an Onslaught, and by dueling I mean it's throwing missiles at the Onslaught while the Onslaught kills it.
Yeah.
The Onslaught is at high flux, but an Onslaught can armor tank a lot, so that's not as important.
Yeah, I don't think
Ooh, Starliner got eradicated.
that's overloaded.
Now, I will say that Metal's fleet is being surrounded and flanked, which is bad for it, and the Saith is at high flux and is taking armor damage. This is not a given thing.
Yeah, they're not untouchable.
Metal and Ramirez are being forced into a ball, which is a bad thing to be. But Lightning's fleet isn't able to capitalize too much so far. Metal and Metrez are still the ones getting kills.
Yep, they are getting hurted a little bit, but they don't seem to mind too much.
They're managing it.
Yeah.
This Onslaught, they built it to be nothing but a massive brick of armor. So it being a distraction here for the strongest ships in Lightning's fleet is exactly what Metrez wants. Nearly 4K armor, baby. Yep.
I'm backing up a little bit.
And with no fighter support, the Astral's bombing runs are pretty clear. Yeah, they're not being herded anymore, and I don't think Lightning has the ability to press in and get the kills they need.
Yeah, I
They've
think
been
they've
losing ships this whole
taken-
time.
Yeah, they've taken too many losses to enforce their herding.
Vortex down. Yeah, at this point, with between the bombing runs and the hex cannons, Lightning's gonna get picked off, I think.
Still, they weren't vanquished immediately.
No, but Metal and Ramirez haven't lost a ship yet.
Ah, so I guess the big question then is, can they take out a ship before?
I don't think so. Unfortunately.
That'll be a real shame.
Yes. Onslaught very, very confidently strolling into the remains.
And Onslaught's like, I'm time for this to be over. I'm just going in. I'm handling this.
I don't think the Onslaught's armor has been cracked yet, despite how often it does that thing.
It doesn't look that damaged.
Hello? What happened to you? Now that's a vortex.
Whee!
I think one of the hex cannons glanced at shield somehow and imparted that force.
Well, that was fun.
That was a terrible pun. I blame my fiance here.
You invited me to co-host, knowing full well what I am like. I will remind you.
I know. Yeah, Lightning's fleet is just... the remnants are being picked off now.
Yeah.
It's up to you, Shepard! Kill them all! Nope.
Yep, here it goes.
I believed in you, Shepard! How could you do this to me? Yeah, Metrez didn't lose a single ship.
Hey. Yeah, they're still in ship shape.
Why?
Because I can.
Third shame of the tournament.
Well, a lot of shame curtains being hung.
And now, Lightning versus Astral Tour, who has not won yet.
And this is their last chance, right?
This is their last chance. It is also Lightning's last fight. Lightning has had it up and down. So, if Astral Tour wins this, we won't have any losing streaks.
That would be good.
The question is whether Astral Tour can win this. Astral Tour, I know that person, do you?
Well,
Now,
I'll
this
still keep-
could work in Astral Tour's favor since the phase guns could... they do move quickly. They could start taking out all the small ships on Lightning's side.
okay.
They introduced me to the stream? Well, welcome. Good to have you. I'm watching the lights and not really understanding, but it's pretty. The bets are very... they're 50-50 exactly. Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, I'll keep my fingers crossed for the underdogs, but I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen here.
Let's find out! I do think Astral Tour has a genuine chance at this. Most of Lightning's fleet could be taken out quickly. But Astral Tour also has a limited ability to defend himself, those Phasgons especially. We'll have to see. Chihuahua dead by throwing it at the Renegade's face. That's kind of hilarious. Or was that a Lamprey drone? No, that was a Lamprey drone. The Chihuahua died elsewhere.
Alright, he got himself out of there. That was
The
dodgy.
Leonberger is in the middle of the enemy fleet? What was your plan?
Yeah,
What?
I don't think it had much of a plan.
Nice flashy explosion there at the end, but I'm pretty sure you're dead.
Yeah,
The Phasgon takes out a shunter. That's good.
it's hurting.
The fact the Leonberger is still alive fascinates me. The Phasgons are doing their job. They are going in there and getting kills on things.
Yep, they're picking some things off.
They need to be a little more quick about it. Oh, shunter down. That helps. Why would you unphase into that, Doom? What? I saw that, right? It was in phase and it unphased right in time for the oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, isn't that the second time the Doom has done something like that?
Yes!
That's
Who was it who was saying you never see the Doom die during this tournament? You can shove it.
I think that was Badger.
Aristeas down. Where's the Leonberger? Is it dead yet? No, I can't see it. Now it's dead.
Oh.
It killed a vortex posthumously. Points.
At least it took something out with its dying breath.
One phase gone down. This one's just killing off Lamprey Jones. I'm pretty sure Astral Tour is going to have a total loss streak.
Well. They did put up some of a fight, though.
It was interesting. Yeah. Needed to do better. Although this Starliner is about to get taken out. Because it decided to face tank a Paragon again. A Phasgon this time, but still, what the hell?
I mean, I think for being a last-minute entry, they did put up a pretty good...
For a last-minute entry, this was a really well put
Showing.
together fleet. He didn't have time to test this.
Yeah, I think if he had time to test and tweak, I think we could have seen a pretty strong showing here.
Considering how well put together Astral Tour's fleet was without testing, if he'd had the time from the beginning, I imagine he might have been one of the frontrunners.
Yeah, because... Yeah, for just something put together, this is doing pretty well. Like, it's not just a tissue paper fleet.
No. What's left? What's happening over here? Oh, a single Harbinger at the bottom of the map. I should have guessed.
Oh. Well.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Astral Tour's won tournaments before? I think so. I feel like that sounds right. Oh hey, it's the Cyclone Ars Aristeas that's left. Turn your arse around and fire! No. Astral's hosted before. Ah. Alright, 26, 40, 52, 62, 76?
Well, it wasn't a shame, though.
It wasn't. They're asking about Astral Tour, not Sunders. Duh. Okay, so you are Astral. I was suspecting. Alright, did I put in the bets? I did not. Okay. It was Lightning who won. Click the right one. Good. Good, Sean. Right. And our last fight in round 1, ring 1, shut up, is ASK versus Warrior. And this is another fight that people have been waiting on. ASK is completely undefeated at the moment.
Alright.
But the classical counter to FaZe is Laser Light Show.
Ah.
So it's not impossible that this kills ASK.
Alright, so now we get to see if a win streak is broken.
Yes, it's possible. Alright, here's the bet. Now, I expect ASK will still take most of the bet just because he has been undefeated so far, even against quite interesting odds. He was the only one to beat Pure Tilt.
Alright.
Actually, the bets are a little more even than I expected.
Well, this will keep things interesting then.
I think it'll partially be a question of how quickly those lurkers die. But more importantly, if Warriors Capitals get split up, that's bad, and that's exactly what the Leonbergers and Dukes are gonna do, if they get the chance.
Yeah, if they can get the big boys isolated.
But
Alright.
if everything that comes close to Warrior gets smacked by like 10, 12 tachyons immediately.
They bonked into each other a little bit.
They always do.
It's kind of fun.
That equality needs to back up and help his friends, not be up front, or he's going to die immediately.
Yeah.
And here comes the Duke to prove my point.
Alright.
This Duke is already half dead. It cannot sustain those Tachyon lances. A Duke is dead. An Afflictor is dead. Warrior has yet to take a loss. Oh! The Leonberger just killed 3 of them with some sort of magnetic ram and didn't die! The other Duke is dead, though.
That was impressive. They are just tearing each other up. This is a brutal fight.
Beholder's down. The Leonberger is taking intense amounts of damage.
Like
oh, but the Paragon is too. The Paragon is down. That Leonberger is going to die if it doesn't change up what it's doing, like now.
Yeah, it needs to. You can't.
Paragon, don't stop firing, please. No, the Leonberger is regenerating.
Oh no. It got moved away just in time.
It's dead and it took an October with it. Both lurkers are still alive. What else is alive? Is it just 2 lurkers versus a Paragon and a Spire?
Alright, 2 on 2.
ASK might lose. The lurkers are not going to survive those Tachyon lances if they get close. The Paragon and the Spire are weakened, but not enough.
This is an interesting dance.
And every time those lurkers teleport, they deal damage to themselves. It just took a bunch of damage and teleported. They can't beat the Spire and the Paragon. I think ASK is going to lose.
Yeah, they keep trying to get in there, but they have to keep falling back.
I thought there was another October left, which might have swung it, but it must have died somewhere when I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like they have enough range.
Are they just going to keep teleporting away in fear every time a Tachyon gets near them? I don't blame them, but...
But at the same time...
One of them's dead.
Ooh.
And... that's it.
Alright, 2-on-1.
ASK has been broken. It cost Warrior a lot, but ASK has been broken.
Yeah, that was by the skin of their teeth.
Whew! Beams work!
Skin of their teeth, but it was a win.
Nobody had a perfect showing then.
Nope.
And there are the lobsters for those of you who believed in beams. Yeah, Warrior has... Did Warrior win a single match up until now? He won against Astral Tour. So what we've learned is that Warrior can kill anybody who tries to abuse phase.
All right.
Wow.
Redemption arc is complete.
Alright, we've still got a fair amount of time, so let's move on into Ring 2.
All right. We may not finish Ring 2, but we can get...
We may not finish Ring 2, but...
Yeah, but we can show off some of the fleets.
The entrants in Ring 2 are... the team of Hrothgar and Burnt Pies, Akitsushima, Mad Badger, Archangel, Wasara, Idiopathic, N-Candy, and Eleanor. I was hoping we'd start this, yes. And since we're doing that, I will distribute everybody with... Nope, that's the wrong button. Stop that. Here's a bunch more lobsters. And now, Ring 2. Right, first off, we have Holy Knight Hrothgar, second of his name, and Crusader Burnt Pies. With, what was this fleet called? Ah yes, the Third Crusade for Hybrasil.
Nice.
Great names, yes. What we have here is a Liberator, the Ludic Church version specifically, so Hammer Barrage. Along with the Baffler ADL, which is one of my favorite guns ever. This thing is lovely. It basically spits a bunch of mines. We have a Bungalow carrying a bunch of Drake Fighters, which are... they have like mini Devastators, so they're very good defense.
Alright.
An Acclimator, just sitting here with an Ion Beam and some Hypervelocity Drivers, very normal. We've got some Adjudicators again, this time with Bafflers and Hypervelocity Drivers. Church Hammerheads with Hypervelocity Drivers. We've got some Marauders with Maulers and Drivers. So, going for a lot of range here, it seems to be. A Ludic Church
Alright.
Ignis with a couple of Gallant Railguns, which are fairly long-ranged for a small weapon. We've got some Spade Mark IIs with Flamethrowers, which makes them automatically the best. And we have a single Condor here with a Vulcan Close Range Cataphract and a Vulcan Standard Cataphract. And I love these. These things look so cool. We have a Nachtgesang with some combat lasers, drivers, Nixus and Blacksmith missiles, and a Record Breaker Cataphracts, which have an EMP emitter.
Nice.
And then we have some mobile armor. The Silver Blit Regalia, a couple Configuration Cs, which have a linear rifle that's very long range, and then a beam that's also very long range. And the single configuration F, which just has 2 of the linear rifles.
I see.
So, a rather good long-range fleet, backed up by some Rosin Ritter junk. Very fun looking. But then, we have Akitsushima's fleet of unbroken Excalibur! So a whole lot of, like, crusading and sword business going on in this fight here. We have the Victory, a very large and very terrifying capital. It basically has upscaled Hephaestus guns here on the top, backed up by some drivers, some sword breakers, and Ifrit cannons. We also have a couple of Trojans, which are carriers fitted with Thunders. They also appear to have Hurricanes, drivers, and Autopulse lasers, so that'll be interesting. And we have Skybreaks, which are basically super upscaled Sunders. 2 Tachyon Lances here in the center, backed up by Ion Beams, drivers, and some Wasps. Then we've got a series of Scalpers. These just fitted out with Needlers, Tactical Lasers. These are probably being used as missile support. Is Victory still sprited in the old midline style? It looks like it is. And then backing them up, we have some Bizarre Falcons with longbows and drivers. And then a single Haven carrying a Jackhammer mech. We have a similar-ish strategy here, but one of them is wider than the other.
Alright.
Right. Let me set the bets up. Now, obviously, we haven't seen any of these fleets run before, so nobody has any idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, these are all fresh.
So it'll be interesting to see where the bets fall.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like one should necessarily have a decisive advantage over the other, but I mean, I don't know.
The bets are extremely on the Third Crusade side, actually, which I didn't expect. I wonder why.
They know something we don't.
Just because of the name? I wouldn't blame you guys for just doing that because of the name, honestly. It is a really good name.
For the Holy Land.
For the... Of course. It's a little more even now. Hrothgar and Pies. Hrothpies. No. Hrothpies is not good. I should come up with another one. Yeah, whatever. They have 70% of the bet. I'll just call them... Yeah, I'll just call them Deus Volt. Burnt Gar. Pygar.
Burnt Hrothgar.
I like Pygar. We're gonna go with Pygar.
Pygar, okay. Pygar is fun.
Let it begin. Pygar versus Akitsushima. Now, a lot of the ships we're seeing here did not show up at all in Ring 1. So I'm very curious how this will play.
Alright then.
Now it begins. Skybreak immediately takes away the Ignis shield, but it looks like it has a damper field system, so that's alright then. A Marauder is already dead. And that Hammerhead is going to die as soon as those Tachyon lenses come back online. If the Skybreak fires them. It's too high on flux, it may well not. Ignis dead. The Skybreaks are redlining themselves. Hammerhead dead.
still a gap.
There is still a
They
gap.
have enough range to bully each other.
Hard to tell who has the advantage. Right now, it
Yeah,
looks
they're-
like Akitsushima does.
Yeah, they're kind of trying to do a little dance.
Skybreaks are a recent addition to Talon Shipworks. Hammerhead's down. Scalper's down. Akitsushima is taller, so losses on their side mean more. But I do believe they have the momentum at the moment.
Now they're not really mingling, but they're still doing a lot of damage.
Those skybreaks are rather mobile for a capital. And the burst damage they threaten is noteworthy. I vote Warrior for Wildcard and Final Robin. Maybe. We'll see. The Noctica song is getting, it perhaps should not be trying to face a Trajan and the victory at the same time.
Yeah, we have a bit of a duel started, except one of the duelists has backup now.
The victory really is an incredibly threatening capital. It's very expensive, but it usually wins duels. So do the skybreaks for that matter. Akitsushima has a very dual-E setup.
Well, it is always nice when expensive things are worth the money.
Yes. One of the regalia is dead. That's a noteworthy loss. They might be small, but those are expensive. They're powerful, but expensive. Pygar might lose this, but they're not out yet.
No, they're all still kind of dancing around a battle line.
But they aren't securing notable damage yet.
No.
That regalia is about to die. A condor died, probably the one on the flank over here with the skybreak. Yep. That's another regalia down. Liberator is facing off against the skybreak, but I don't think it'll win that duel. The Noctica song is getting taken out.
Yeah, we are seeing some more isolated fights happening now.
This does not look good for Pygar.
Yeah, I think they have lost more.
They've lost quite a bit more by now. They'd have to come back with some noteworthy kills, like now.
It doesn't look like they're going to be able to inflict that, though.
It's not a shame. Akitsu did lose something. I think a scalper? Not much, though.
Well, as long as it's something.
Akitsu's fleet stayed together really well.
Yeah, they're holding their own pretty strong. Yeah, they've just been kind of chipping away at the other fleet.
It helps that those skybreaks have been able to choose their fights, and that they're very good at winning singular fights.
Yeah.
They just kind of poke in and out, burst the tachyon lances.
Yeah, their AI has been working pretty good.
And anything that tries to push in usually gets backed off by the victory.
Yep.
And the Trojans aren't weak either.
And there goes another one. And it's not down to much.
Nope. Liberator is down. The Regalia is down. That leaves one Ignis in the Noctikasang.
Boom, boom, boom. Yep. They lasted a decent amount of time, but ultimately...
Noctikasang is quietly tormenting that scalper.
Like, I want to do something before I go out.
Ignis just hanging out behind it.
Yep.
Do you remember what timeout does?
You have never explained that to me.
It sets them all to maximum aggressiveness.
Ah.
It's like, alright, we've waited long enough, kill each other. The Noctikasang, it tried very hard to kill the scalper right before it died there.
Yeah.
It did not succeed.
No, which is sad because it doesn't have much hull left.
Alright, well the scalper's worth 10, so there is that, but... Akitsu won.
Yep.
Which makes it a bit sad that most people bet on, Pygar.
Well... I mean, that's why we're all betting lobsters and not actual money, right?
We'll bet actual money in about 5 years when this gets a lot more popular. And I'll still be running the tournament. Now, this time we have Archangel Mark V with We Are Number One versus the decommissioned Nixus Nihilists. Whose fleet is that? Yes, and Candies. With nothing matters, ergo what I decree what matters.
Well then.
Now, on Archangel's side, we have here a Boar with some Hecaton torpedoes and kneecappers and nothing else. Some Mercuries with kneecappers. A Spectre with a Locust launcher and nothing else. Which I can't help but notice is something Pure Tilt did as well. Legions with 2 Baffler ADLs and a bunch of Hecaton torpedoes, along with Record Breaker Cataphracts and Cackle Disruptors, both of which have EMP emitters. So
Nice.
very EMP heavy fighter support here. Another Boar, a Razorback with a couple of Fount Swarmers, and nothing else. Archers with Dulce MRMs, a single Swordbreaker, and nothing else. So what we have here are... okay. Bafflers, Matsars, yes, this is a missile fleet. And a Ghoul with 3 Pendragons, and nothing else.
Well.
And a Herma LC with some kneecappers. So... yes. Arc is going for a heavy missile fleet, similar to what Tilt did, but seemingly without an anchor to tie it together.
You've got some questions in the chat there.
Why aren't Archers limited again? Aren't Razorbacks on the restricted list? Razorbacks are, but if it's a frigate, you can have 2. And why aren't Archers limited? Good question. I maybe should have done that. How much are these worth? 10? I'll think about that before round 2. Anyway. That is Archangel's fleet. And Candies. We start with an Alice Mark V with a pair of Gauss cannons as well as long-range arbalests, a Nixus, and a Xiphos. Missile spam intensifies, yes. I don't know if it'll do as well as Pure Tilts. We have Drovers with Nixuses, Falxes, and the Diadem Thunderbirds. A Doom with a bunch of Nixuses and some lightning guns. Someone tell Fluff someone uses Atlas, yes. The Venture P with Nixuses. A bunch of Kite with Nixuses, some Monitors with more Nixuses, Hermapes with more Nixuses. Okay, I think I see what's happening here. Although we do have a Conquest here, with Aegis Flax on one side, some Hurricanes, and a Mjolnir and an Alteria on the offensive side.
Well then.
We also have a Suleiman, which does have Nixuses, yes, but also a Plasma Cannon and some double IR pulses. And a couple of Auroras with Sturmkanons and Nixus guns. Cannons. Missiles. Shut up. So we have here kind of two missile fleets. One of them went full missiles, one of them went heavy missiles, but did still remember to bring guns. Don't know how I feel about either of you.
This is going to be interesting.
Here we go. Nixai? Yes, Nixai. I think the side with an anchor wins? I think so. Wow, nobody is betting for Arc.
Oh.
Oh, nope, one bet.
Well, someone's got to bet. Alright, while the rest of those go in, I'm gonna take a real quick swig of water and I will be right back.
Okay.
2 seconds.
What the heck, where did I get 3,000 lobsters? Maybe you've just been sitting there every time I hand them out without doing anything with them. I am just waiting a moment for Miss Laharl to come back, and then we shall start. If you bet on Aki last round, the payout was big. That's true, it was. Hell, you're usually here, so you might have just been able to stock up on lobsters. Especially if you've never used bet all. You should look at hull mods a bit more. They can have a big impact. They can, yes. And I should probably, for next tournament, not allow UGH, at least not until Protonus has been put through the rack. I feel kind of bad for him. I probably shouldn't have included unusually gullible hull mods, considering how fresh it was. But it seemed like such interesting stuff. And I think I was right about that. There's been some very, very cool stuff. Yeah, the phase conversion mods, especially ASK. What you did was cool.
Alright, back in the chair.
Alrighty, are we ready?
Yes.
So Arc definitely went for a very wide missile-focused fleet.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you know, Candy's fleet is taller, certainly.
Yeah.
There are the missiles.
There we go.
A lot of them on the Atlas Mark V there. But it's managed to weather the storm.
Well, this is a fireworks show.
Yes, the question is whether Candy will be able to weather that storm, get in there, and shoot guns. They lost to Herma, not a big deal. They lost to Doom, that is a big deal.
Ooh. Yep. My cat has decided to obstruct the screen.
If they can close distance to guns, nothing on Ark's side actually has guns, mostly. There's some bafflers in there, but that's about it.
Alright, well... They're keeping their distance, but... they're able to fire through the gap.
Candy is actually losing this just due to the insane missile pressure.
Yeah, there's kind of a constant swarm.
And it's a lot of different kinds of missiles, which is helping. They're not getting caught by the same kinds of point defense. Nor at the same velocities.
Can you clarify the large ballistics on the Atlases?
On the Atlas Mark V up here, it was Gauss cannons, yes. These were both missile-focused fleets. It was just a question of whether the one having guns was going to make the difference. The answer is no.
Yeah, enough of a spam.
The one who went dedicated missiles everywhere won.
The question is for the other side.
Baffler ADLs. That's what they do. They spit lots of little miniature bombs. They can be shot down, but there's a lot of them.
Pew, 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 pew.
That is unfortunately a shame.
Well... Which, to me, is almost kind of more of a shame because they had so many ships you would... You know, odds are at least one.
It's going to be interesting if Ark ends up fighting Tilt.
Mm.
Moving on.
Alright.
Now, it's Idiopathic versus the aforementioned Candy's semi-missile fleet. So Idiopathic, we're seeing the Apatzit X for the second time today.
Alright.
This one's fitted out a little differently. I notice a hex cannon here. I'm noticing the use of converted hangar to give it extra Xiphos fighters, which is curious. It's also been given auto-struct factory, slightly different weapon loadouts, longbows rather than anything else. So this thing is probably meant to be a much heavier one that just lasts forever.
Alright.
We've got some distraction chihuahuas with scatter cannons on them. Distraction irises, which look like they're meant to be purely point defense, but I question the use of safety overrides. We've got Shibas, which are the big versions of Chihuahua, which have not been given weapons for some reason. Okay. Once more, we see a Leon Burger. This one with almost all of the weapon mounts empty for reasons unknown to me. It's got a Devastator cannon, a chain gun, an HMG, and a flak, and that's it? It's got a ton of hull mods, I guess. And a second one, and some more irises, and some monitors. So here's the thing. This fleet looks like it's intensely tough. Got lots of distractions, lots of armor. I don't see a lot in the way of weapons to actually do damage with. So...
Well, I guess we'll see.
We'll see.
I mean, they could be just going for lasting power, wearing the enemy down.
They very well could. Alright, here come the bet. Let's get physical, huh? Interesting. The kite's names. I have news. The end of the world does not matter since I don't care.
It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine.
The Auroras, we serve a higher purpose. Memes!
Cat, don't rub your face on my microphone.
Cats are a great tradition. Alright. Cat wants to on the microphone? It does. Here we go. I don't know how this is going to work out for them.
I have a feeling that this is going to be fun either way.
Oh, the Leonbergers have been given damper field instead of phase. I guess that's fitting with what they're going for.
Alright, shots fired.
Yep, no immediate kills. Now, the Leonbergers, if they just last forever, could win with ramming damage, I guess. Maybe that's the strategy. And, you know, this thing does have guns down here. It's just the only thing that seems to.
Yep, we have some duels started.
One of the Shibas is down. This Leonberger has had its engines disabled and is just getting picked at. No armor breakage yet, though.
Everyone's just kind of dancing around each other.
Yeah? The Apatsud is shooting at its friend, the Iris, for some reason. I guess to get it out of the way faster?
Yeah, it's just kind of... it does not care.
Poor Iris is struggling under the pressure.
Yep.
Not by much, though. It's managing to stay up. A monitor has been destroyed.
It needs to get out of the way of the front of its buddy.
It does. Atlas Mark V down.
Alright, we have blood.
Yeah, this Apatsud might win just by virtue of all of its friends being really annoying and distracting.
I mean, distraction is a tactic. They've really spread themselves out.
And Iris somewhere has died, though.
Well, I mean, I guess it's not too surprising.
Not really.
You have a duel. And a lot of fireworks. Yeah, I feel like the other fleet's just getting scattered and picked off.
Kinda, yeah. If their opponents are so brick-like that they can't be easily killed.
Yeah, which is a problem because if you get scattered and you have brick-like opponents, it's going to be a lot harder for you to break the brick.
Yep. And since a lot of the frigate-shaped bricks in question are just hanging around the Apatsid-X.
Which is smart.
And it's exactly what they should do. It makes it even less likely that focused fire will be thrown at the Apatsid.
Yep, that's a good point, actually.
And the Apatsid has most of the firepower here.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just a brick with every kind of gun strapped to it. All the guns, every gun.
I don't know what it's firing those thermal pulse can. Hello, where's that drover come from? Bye.
Whee!
I'm going to assume the Leonberger had something to do with that.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of up there, around where it was. There's another one.
So clearly, Ideo's strategy is, I don't need to have particularly good guns if I just don't die.
Yep, I mean, if you don't die, you can't be killed, which sounds really stupid to say, even if it's accurate.
This Leonberger is taking a noteworthy amount of damage from the Conquest, I say as it face plants a drover to kill it.
Boom.
But I don't think the Conquest is going to be able to do enough damage quickly enough.
Yeah, I mean, even if the Conquest could take it out, I don't think it has enough support and power to survive.
No. There it goes.
Yeah. This will be a strategy to watch, I think.
Yeah, Ideo's strategy is basically just be immortal. Working on killing one of the enemy's distraction bricks.
Which, I mean, is that the only thing left on their side?
I don't think it is. I mean, there's a Herma there. It looks like most of the monitors are still alive. Which, again, they're distraction bricks, that's not surprising.
Alright, but it's just down to the little guys
Yeah.
sweeping up the crumbs.
Oh, no, there's a whole Ars Aurora over here still. It's not doing very well, but it's here.
Yeah, it's probably not going to stay there very long.
Looking forward to Ideo versus Tilt. Interesting thought experiment, that.
Oh, yep. Yep, it's overloaded.
You can do it, little Herma. I believe in you. Never mind. You just got turned into a tattoo.
Yeah.
Well, not a shame, at least.
No.
32, 44, 46, 48. Yeah.
Yeah, that seemed to work pretty well.
It did. I'd like to see Ideo versus ASK. That would be interesting. Our next match? It's time for Pygar. But this time, his opponent is Eleanor, who specifically submitted a fleet that is meant to emulate the faction mod she is currently working on.
Oh, nice.
Eleanor has given us the Academic Tech Flotilla, Starting with the Sovereign. This thing is fitted out with Trident torpedo bombers, a couple of Alteria railguns, a lightning gun, and an Otome pulse cannon, which, if it hits the shield, disables the ship for a few seconds. 2 seconds, rather.
Nice.
And if it doesn't hit shield, is probably going to kill the ship. It's, this thing just looks kind of cool. I'm sorry, it does.
It does. That looks intimidating.
We also have a Nibelung with a couple of Karayan batteries, an Alteria, an Animus, and a couple of Conan autocannons, as well as the Dragon Slayer hammer tubes, of course. We have a Paragon with no front weapons. Why? But also lightning guns and Strahlhammers. So, what? I guess we'll see how that works. I don't know why these were left empty.
I guess we'll see.
We have a couple of Kronoses with Karayans, lightning guns, and Strahlhammers. Some Furies, also with lightning guns. A Foka with a Conan and a dual flak, and a Guardian and Hypervelocity on the back for some reason. I guess this is meant to be a broadsider. The ship names are from the ship names of my faction ships. Oh, I apologize then. I shall read them out. Let's see, Argonaut and Ambition. Bastion, Opal. Okay, I get the idea. A Brawler with Hypervelocity drivers, and a single Darnus with Sturmkanons named the Nineveh. Also Syracuse, Deinonychus, Omphalos, Selena, and Anastasia.
Nice.
So this seems... there's not a specific strategy here, but it seems like a very fighty and offensive fleet, and I'm interested to see how it works. So, let's set the bets.
All right.
Eleanor versus Pygar. Our ships are all named in poorly done Latin. Yeah, we have Manibus Lidae, Cor Lidae, Oculus Lidae, Manus Lidae, Pugnus Lidae, Misericordia, Vindicta, Pax, Dolor, Clementia, Furor, Gilades Optimus, Cerberus Conquistus, Jungula Languidus, In Optimum, Vanitati Latinae Canentis, Salsus Respondio, Dies Irae, and Funda Ludae. So you stopped doing Ludae right about when you got to the torches, and then brought it back for like the last regalia for some reason. Also Dies Irae, Day of Wrath.
Well,
I know a little Latin. A bit.
I don't know any Latin.
Latin's kind of neat, I think. Bets are in. Eleanor has most of the bet. Let's see how that works out. It is a tall fleet, Eleanor. Excuse me? What was your system just now? Do that again. Oh, that's cool.
That is very cool.
Look at him.
Oop.
Oh, he's cute.
He is cute.
Is Liberator LC different stat-wise from regular, or is it just paint job? It has a hammer barrage instead of the normal slot. And I think a couple other tiny differences.
Alright,
That Darnus is so cute. I love it. Lots of lightning guns, lots of Strahlhammers, very electric Eleanor's fleet is. And I like it a lot.
Yep, we're all kind of spreading out a little bit now.
Immediate kill of two of Pygar's spades.
Forming a battlefront.
But you know, spades are only 1 DP. They're not super important. Another spade dead. Praise Tesla! Yes. Sovereign is slowly floating in. What's it going to shoot that big cannon at first? I can't wait to see. There's the cannon shot, and it impacts on some fighters. At least it killed the fighters. Kronos is over here. The Kronos has an acceleration system that lets it do quick bursts of damage. It can be very threatening.
Yep, yeah, we got...
The Noctikasong is handling it, though. I think I just saw the Otome cannon over here miss again. The Brawler has been disabled.
Alright.
Hard to tell who's gonna win.
I mean, the giant space tasers are putting up a pretty good showing.
They are. It looks really pretty. And the Noctikasong is taking damage from the Kronos over here. Although it seems to be mostly because the Noctikasong isn't shielding very well.
Well, that's a problem.
Ah, the big cannon hit the Liberator. Disabled it for an instant. Not long enough to do anything, but hey. Liberator is at high flux. Sent that pilot to the Shadow Realm. Yeah, it is excessive to hit a fighter pilot with that cannon. Cannon goes in again. Hits a Regalia. Regalia's gonna have to be forced to back off now, I expect. Oh, Sovereign burns in a little bit to keep its range on the Regalia. Keep shooting at it.
Yeah.
The Noctikasong is still dueling with the Kronos, but now the Paragon is helping out. The Sovereign is now perhaps trying to fight too many things at once. It's handling it at the moment. Oh, it's able to move back. Neat, so that's not just a burn forward.
Nice.
That does give it some versatility. Nibelung and Kronos are over here threatening Regalia. Fury and Darnus on the side dealing with those. Neither side has secured a kill of any note.
Yeah, they're all kind of just...
They keep getting close and then backing off of each other.
Yeah, they're dancing just about as much as they're fighting.
Concerted effort from the Kronos there to at least kill a Marauder, but it was not to be.
Well.
Oh, Afoka over here was abandoned and is probably going to die, though.
Oh yeah, that guy doesn't have a lot of hull left.
Oh, and this Kronos is getting hurt badly. Ooh, that cannon smacked the Liberator, but I think it was too out of range to deal proper damage. Very sad. Despite the danger of what just happened, no kills still.
Everyone's just kind of holding on. This is one of the more evenly matched fights we've seen.
A Marauder finally dies. Something died. My fleet can't kill ships with lots of armor. You are up against a fair amount of army here, but you're not losing.
No, I mean... it's mostly a stalemate at the moment.
We need an aggressive AI tournament. We need the AI to be improved, generally.
I mean,
Oh, that Marauder's dead.
Yep.
There are some wounds on both sides. No significant kills. Yeah, the timeout's gonna hit sooner or later here.
Yep.
Then they're all gonna go reckless, and then... question mark?
I'm not really sure.
I still have no idea who's going to win if they do get aggressive with each other.
Yeah, they're just not...
Eleanor slightly has the advantage, and Ignis is down. The Noctikasong and Liberator have both taken stings to their fronts, but this Kronos also is missing most of its hull. Hard to say.
Yeah, I mean, they're all still kind of just dancing with each other. not really able to sink their teeth in.
Eleanor has the advantage at the moment. She's been able to do damage slowly over time. Although she did just lose a Foca. Ow! That was bad. The Noctisong didn't have the flux to shield that. Took a lot of damage just there.
Wow.
And is continuing to take. That Kronos could possibly secure a kill on it, if it's very careful. Very careful. The Noctisong isn't a weak ship, but it looks like the Kronos might be able to secure it. Timeout's about to force them all to really hate each other, though.
Yeah. Yep, there it goes.
Nope, the Kronos is going to get killed by the Noctisong's escorts. Yep.
Oh no. It almost had it.
Sovereign's getting overpressured. Eleanor might be a little too lacking in explosive damage to deal with it when things get reckless.
Yeah.
There is a Hammerhead and Adjudicator dead on Pygar's side. And another Hammerhead.
Yeah, because this is just going in all guns blazing now. And you need to have good guns for that.
Fury down on Eleanor's side. Liberator down on Pygar's side. And an Acclimator.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, this is...
still really close.
Yeah, this is definitely not a one-sided fight.
Pygar's bungalow about to go down. It can't possibly fight a Nibelung. Paragon and Noctisong dueling. The Noctisong is managing to just keep ahead of Flux, but it does not have the hold to drop that shield for even an instant. Fury down. Regalia down. Bungalow down. Somebody needs to help the Paragon if the Noctisong is going to get taken out. The Nibelung's coming up behind it. That might do it. If the Nibelung can speed up. Don't get too distracted by the Condor. Your friend needs help.
Come on, guys.
The Darnus is down. The Noctisong is down. I didn't see what killed it. I guess it had to drop its shield for a minute.
Yep.
Nibelung's killing the Condor. I think Eleanor's going to clinch it.
Yeah, it looked a little dicey there for a bit, but I think ultimately
The Paragon, there is no health bar. There is no health bar.
there is no health bar.
Goodbye.
Yeah, that was fairly even.
It may not be over yet, but I think it is.
Yeah, I think there's more firepower.
The Nibelung is definitely one of the stronger and more explosively armed ships. Yep, there goes one Regalia and then the other, I'm willing to bet.
Boom.
What's left? An Ignis? An Ignis. What was that you were saying, Eleanor, about how you knew you were going to lose? Because you've just won.
Well. Yep.
It was a hard-fought battle, but you won.
Yeah, that went pretty far past the timeout.
Let's see.
That was pretty even, all things considered, but yeah.
95, 105, 110, 125, 140, 153, 159. 159, I think. Only very get yeah. Were you not able to access the other test fleets? Congratulations, though. And people did mostly vote for Eleanor there. About 67% of the vote.
Nice.
So I guess somebody figured out that there was something interesting going on there. And I will throw some more lobsters for those who made foolish bets. And here's our next fight. Badger versus Wasara! 2 new fleets.
Nice.
Badger's, I'm not unarmed, I have rocks.
Nice.
And Wasara's, Mariani, dried pitted plums.
pitted plums could maybe count as rocks, depending on how long.
It's close to rocks.
It's close to rocks.
So first, with I'm Not Unarmed, we once again have chihuahuas, this time with drivers. Some monitors with an HK-101 rifle, which I really didn't expect to see, but it can keep them at range, so hey. Some wolves with Pastella blasters,
Ooh.
which is an interesting choice. The backpack with a single gallant light. Also, I'm noticing a lot of Seth drone fabricators.
See, wolves are my favorite, so it's nice to finally see some wolves.
Read the ship names? Oh, I will, don't worry. We have metalheads with Magera twin-linked railguns and more Seth drones. Seth drones, you fire them, they float around, get in range, and then spit projectiles. Very much kind of like rocks, I guess. We have some prospectors, which have gallants, a bunch of mining weapons, and another Seth. An Atlas Mark XIV with Styrex Kinetic drivers, Fisher LRMs, and long-range arbalests. A Pathfinder with the Vulcan Standard, another Styrex and long-range arbalest, some Nixus, more long-range arbalest, 2 of those. And some Adventurers with more Seth drone, long-range arbalest, and Styrex Kinetics. So what we have here is like dedicated long-range kinetic only. And some Fishers, which are also kinetic missiles. Starliner P, hypervelocity drivers, Fisher, Seth drones, and some Bitzers with HK-101s, nav relays, and ECM packages. Interesting stuff, interesting stuff. On Wasara's side with the dried pitted plums, we have a Paragon with a tachyon lens on one side, an arc emitter on the other, needlers, and 2 plasma lens projectors. So this is going to be horrifying for anything that it doesn't have its shields up. We have 2 Dobermans with gunnery control AI and weighted rounds, making them extra threatening with, what's that? Gardas hyperrail cannons, very long-ranged explosive guns, and on the modules, Magera twin-linked guns, which are the kinetics. So anything that gets in front of this is going to have to put up with a serious amount of punishment, and there's 2 of them.
Those things look like they have eyeballs, and it's freaking me out.
Why did you have to say that? Now I see it.
Now all of you see it.
Also, Hurtbert and Hurtree, I can't help but notice, are the names. We have a Tempest with a pair of ion beams, 2 of those. Some more Irises to act as distractions. And a Peregrine with ion beams and tactical lasers, 2 of those. And the return of the Lurker. This one fitted out a little differently. This one can actually still phase, fitted out with some very heavy point defense, along with Stahlhagel Zweilings and a Breaker rotary cannon. So, a sort of a generalist fleet, very tall, but some very nice guns on display here. Right. Let me set the bet.
I thought you said you were going to read the ship names.
Yes, 1 second. I'm going to do this first and then read while the bet goes.
Okay.
Here we go. So the names on Badger's side, let's see. Schrodinger's Dog. Frisbee Chaser. Whoa, he's fast, and how did this live for the Chihuahuas? Shoot at me, I can do this all day, and hey over here for the distraction monitors. The Excessive, the Don't Blink, the Fluxed, and the Jumpy for the wolves.
Well.
For the backpacks, we have Little Friends, Beekeeper, Honey Trap, and Too Late. I'm gonna have to go into the refit to look at these. For the metalheads, we have Lead, Vanadium, Bismuth, and Neodymium. And for the prospectors, we have Overeager, Remember to Vent, Glass is Almost Rock, and Finds Trouble.
Glass is almost rock.
For the Bitzers, we have Handy, Assist, Useful, and Helping. The Starliner is the Bargain Bin. The Adventurers are the Victor Stable and the Primly Certain. The Pathfinders are the This May Sting a Little, and the Learning is About to Occur. And finally, the Range King. I'm sorry, but you're not. Metal took that title. The metalheads could have been so much better, could they? Hello, Tigger. Do you need my attention? Yes, you're a good kitty. I'll wait a bit for the bets to finish here.
Alright.
Cat. I hear a feline friend. Cat.
Yes.
Cats are good. Cats are everyone's friend. The bets are really even, actually.
Well.
Right. Let's find out if that was a good idea. Badger's fleet is certainly very wide, isn't it? That is a lot of ships.
That is a lot of ships.
The lurker on the other side is already here. That may have been a mistake.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, it can get away, but it is going to take a little incidental damage, possibly without securing a kill.
Yeah.
Now, Badger went for
that...
only kinetic, so he doesn't have explosive guns to get through armor, but enough kinetic damage is eventually damage.
Yeah, I mean, damage is damage. If you can wear it down. Yeah, that...
Yep, once it gets through a hole, everything's the same. Once it gets through armor, rather.
Yeah, that ship's kind of stuck in the middle there. It needs to back out if it...
And indeed, it teleported away.
Okay.
Metalhead trying to fight the Doberman, that was a very poor idea. That Doberman is going to be a massive threat to anything that gets remotely in front of it.
Yes, I know, little kitty.
Grand Salvo kind of counters the Chihuahua, but it managed to no, it didn't.
Don't rub your face on my microphone. Be good.
The Prospectors have an HE beam. It is rather short range, but yes, they could get in there and do that. And indeed, one of them just did so to the Lurker. And then got killed by the Lurker.
Alright, well, we have a battlefront established.
Yep. Badger's fleet is wide enough that they can kind of decide the engagement. I don't know why that Prospector was up there.
They can kind of fan out.
That Paragon is almost out of flux. I mean, there's only kinetic weapons, so shields aren't going to stay up much on Wasara's side. A Bitzer somewhere died, that's fine. That's just a little 1 DP thing in there. Chihuahua down.
Yeah, the eyeball baguettes are holding up.
Eyeball baguettes, really?
Look at them.
That Paragon is starting to take a noteworthy amount of damage. It may not last much longer. It can't get any flux back, not surprisingly.
Well, yeah, it's staying maxed out pretty much.
The Dobermans are also taking armor damage because they can't keep their shields up, but they do have more armor than the Paragon does. A wolf is down.
Eyeball bread boxes, yes.
Thank you, Howler. That's marginally better. Yeah, despite having an initial advantage, and indeed still killing ships here and there, Wasara is in a really bad position.
Yeah.
He's grouped up tightly and under constant barrage. He is still getting kills, but it's still a bad position.
Yeah, it feels like he's starting to get hurted.
Chihuahua dead. That Doberman is almost dead, actually. Oh, Grand Salvo was going to force it to run away. One of the wolves walked into the salvo, though. That was an interesting decision. Some of Badger's fleet is getting distracted by the Lurker, which is still not dead somehow.
Yeah, it's holding on. It's not doing great, but it's not dying yet.
Peregrine in here to try and distract away from the capitals. The Peregrine does not have the... Oh, Doberman's down. And the Peregrine doesn't have the armor to last much longer itself. Yep, quickly losing hull. Peregrine down. Paragon is redlined in flux and still taking damage. So is the Doberman, which just lost another module.
Yeah, the other fleet is pressing.
Paragon's down. Badger's theory, if I deal enough kinetic damage, it doesn't matter that I don't have enough explosives, is working. And it also means that the Iris and Monitor as distraction bricks doesn't really work because they rely on being shielded as distraction bricks. So they're more vulnerable than a distraction brick usually is.
I see.
And yep, popped an Iris without even much trouble. A Wolf and a Prospector down. Badger is losing like a significant amount of his fleet as he does this, but he's so wide that it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, he still has plenty of ships on the field to keep fighting.
Doberman down. The only remaining serious threats are the Lurker and I guess maybe that Peregrine, but that Peregrine is not long for this world.
Nope. Nope, it's about to go. Yep.
Where is the Lurker? There it is.
Yep, now they can just focus on the Lurker.
Wherever it went. Oh, it ran away.
Oh. It doesn't have much hull left, though.
It really doesn't.
As soon as things catch up with it.
Yep. Yep.
Yep, there it
Badger's
goes.
so wide I'm gonna have to do a lot of counting. That's, let's see, 6. Let's see, 5, 10, 30, 36. 22 plus 58? 58? 58 plus 24 is... Let's see, 78, 82, 84. 84. So, lost nearly a third of his fleet, but won.
Nice. I mean, yeah, victory.
I'm not unarmed. I have rocks.
I mean, rocks are very hard and very destructive things when wielded appropriately.
That was really interesting to watch, honestly. That was dicey for a little while, but then just very slowly Wasara got ground down.
Animal, your dinner time is not for 20 minutes. Hold on.
Moving on. Now it's Ark versus Wasara. Now I'm sure we recall. Ark was the completely missiles fleet, and Wasara lost.
Well,
Having said that, Wasara does have a workable strategy, but I wonder if it'll be enough to deal with the Alpha Strike from Ark. Place your bets.
all right.
Looking in the Starsector chat, a couple people complaining about losing all their lobsters.
Rubbing your face on my microphone. Yes, you're very cute. I think I have a feeling for who's gonna come out on top, but I'm not gonna make any calls.
Let's just find out the hard way.
Yep.
And there go the missiles. Because of the Lurker, of course. That almost kind of works. The Lurker forced them to waste a lot of Alpha Strike on empty air there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Lurker is now out of flux, and is going to take the second wave. No, it's going to teleport away somewhere. Where'd it go? There it is. Back behind his friends. Those peregrines are not in a good position. Tempest down.
Yeah, they're a little too forward and isolated.
Peregrine is down. Paragon is managing to deal some significant damage to that archer down there.
Yeah, but
Don't know
I
if
feel
it'll
like
quite get the kill. Yes, it will.
I feel like they might slowly get surrounded though.
Yeah, they need to kill more than just one archer, unfortunately.
Yeah, you can see the other ships starting to come up along the sides.
The thing is, they need to outrange missiles. Ark's fleet has no guns, but missiles are long range. Oh, I mean, okay, technically they have the Battler ADLs, but you know what I mean. Those hardly count as guns. Those are mine spitters. Nope, Doberman down. Ark will have this, I'm afraid. Rather brutally at that.
Ooh, yeah, that was a big 1-2 punch. Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say.
What'd you
at
miss,
this
Metal?
point.
You missed the rise of the second missile spam fleet
Yes.
in Ring 2.
Yeah, this has gone very poorly for.
You also missed a couple of genuinely really good fights, which I'm sorry about. Well, one archer got taken out.
Well,
So not a shame like last time.
no. Not a total shame.
Our next fight is Ark again, but this time against Pygar. Gee, I wonder how this will go.
Alright.
Not that I want to make it a foregone conclusion here.
But.
The bet is up.
Yeah, seeing a lot of very different strategies. Over all the fleets.
The bets are, of course, in Ark's favor.
Doesn't surprise me at this point, but we'll see.
I'm guessing the Robbie Rotten brought the missiles. Yeah, in case you hadn't noticed, the names of these ships are just the We Are Number One song. All the way through.
Nice.
Here we go. Now, it's not that Pygar hasn't been putting up a good fight in their matches so far. They have.
They have been putting up a fight, yeah.
Honestly, I'm just never not gonna bet on pie. Burnt pies. Aw.
Aw.
That was a lot of missiles all aimed at a hammerhead.
Well, yeah, they wanted to destroy that hammerhead. They destroyed that hammerhead.
Sorry, Pie, but the spam is strong with Robbie Rotten.
Yes. Yeah, that is a fireworks display.
I will say the Baffler ADLs on Pygar's side can take out relatively large amounts of missiles. And indeed are doing so, keeping the Liberators somewhat safe. Unfortunately, the Bafflers do have a slow reload time, so the Liberator is still going to take a lot of punishment. Another Hammerhead down. A Ghoul is up front here for some reason. I guess to prevent it from being a shame if it can get killed.
It wants to be a frontline soldier.
Evidently.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure. You can see the other fleet backing up.
Yep. They don't have to be at gun range.
They don't.
Acclimator and Adjudicator down, and the Liberator is closely following. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of glow down there. This is
A bit hard to watch.
yeah, fairly one-sided. But they were up against a lot. They, you know. They did put up a fight.
They tried. Where did those
Yeah.
missiles come from? Why are there ghouls on this side? Was that just for fireworks?
Yeah.
Maybe just ban missiles?
Mm,
Maybe that's the thing I should try someday.
no missile fleets.
Alright, moving swiftly on. Badger and Eleanor! This will be much more interesting. Badger and Eleanor, both of their fights were really interesting to watch, honestly. So I'm actually kind of excited about this one. And both of them won.
Both of them did win.
I'm going to distribute a few more lobsters.
All
and
right.
then start the bet. Was it explained during the rundown who made what between Pies and Rothgar? I think Rothgar made the Rosenritter side. If I'm... I think I'm right about that. I could be wrong. That's acceptable, though. If I'm wrong, that's okay. It just means I'm retroactively right later. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a cap on missiles? I thought of that. It's just... I don't know. I'll come up with something interesting later. Not right now. Right!
Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, you know, I'm sure you'll figure things out.
So, we've got Electric Fun Time versus... I'm going to throw so much kinetic damage at you it won't matter.
Yep.
Most of the dominant fleets are... yes. But that's okay, because the next time I run one of these tournaments, I will have learned. And
Yep,
by learned,
learning
I mean
is-
I'll have taken Protonus and brought him behind the shed for a talking to. Missiles, it's kind of hard to account for. Even in vanilla tournaments, that's a problem.
You should just have tournaments that there are no missiles and some tournaments that are just all the missiles.
I have a theory about how to do it, but that will be something to talk about later.
Yeah, a bit too late for this tournament.
So, Badger's lost to Chihuahua, but that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's not
Eleanor
particularly
is
noteworthy.
taking fairly expensive pressure.
Yeah,
Badger is so much wider that he can afford to push in and surround her, and she doesn't have any particularly good armor bricks, except for maybe the Sovereign. Metal, you are surprisingly close to what my idea is.
nice. Yeah, Battlefront has been established, and it does look like the smaller fleet is being herded.
They are getting kills, because of course they are, but it's a question of, are they going to get enough kills?
Yeah, because with the wide fleet, you have to.
And yeah, Vanilla's not balanced either, so...
Yeah, you have to knock out enough and enough important pieces.
There will be some balancing and some refit allowance for the second round, but I'm not going to go too hard. I'm just going to get the most glaring cases.
Yeah, they're getting pushed. Hooked up.
Yep. I would really like to see this non-broadside nibbling destroyed. Sabos, Sabos, Sabos. Don't bang my collapsed cargo holds. Suck it.
Mm.
If I don't ban it, I have to do something about it.
Yeah, they're all in
Ban
one
tilt!
cluster now.
Ban tilt, maybe Archangel while I'm at it. No, they aren't taking enough out of Badger's fleet, and now they're getting forced into a ball.
Yeah, they're in a pretty tight pen.
I gotta say though, since Eleanor went so heavy on like Electric Fun Time, I'm actually really excited to see what her faction's gonna be. I know that's off topic, but I am so down for Electro faction.
I like Sparky's happy.
Badger's fleet nibbles the enemy to death. That's an interesting way to put it.
I mean, it's not accurate.
Maybe Electro Flamethrower faction. Flamethrower is the other thing I really like.
Flamethrowers are cool. Yeah, this is... I mean, she's putting up a good fight considering, but...
So it's okay when we spam Seths then? That's the thing. I heard concerns about the Nixus and about missile abuse in general. I didn't hear a word about the Seth fabricators throughout the entire tournament organization. I don't know if they're bad or not. And in campaign, they never seem to do that much damage. They were good suppression, and that's about it. So I don't know. I think they work in Badger's fleet because it's just more kinetic suppression.
Yes, I know, baby girl. You still have 5 minutes before you get your dinner.
The Nibelung is finally down.
Be a patient man.
Triple kill, both Kronos and a Fury. And the
Nice.
Sovereign directly after. Yeah, they put that fleet right up against the wall. 2, 4, 6, 11, 21, 22. Badger's not ever going to get a shame, I think. Too much stuff that can be easily killed.
Oh. But he's not losing. Alright, so I have to pop off pretty soon.
27 did I miscount? Alright, is there anybody who hasn't fought yet? No, everybody's had at least one match. Alright, well, I think we might end this here, because otherwise Thago's going to have very little left to do with him on the weekend, and I'm sure that we all miss Thago. Or at least I miss Thago. I think I lost 5 more points than you counted. I'll watch it back when I'm tallying up the scores in fun. I'm going to watch the entire tournament back and double check all my numbers when I tally the scores final for round 1. So don't worry too much about it. But I think that we're going to go ahead and stop here. Hold on, I have to give the bet. Wow, everybody bet on Badger. Because if I only leave, like, the last half of Ring 2 for Thago, he's not going to be here very long, and that's just sad. Do you count DP penalties? Yes. Which is one of the reasons I want to recount, to make sure I caught every instance of that. So yeah, there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... We went through 8 fights today? So how many are left? 5, 10, 15... There'll be 20 to do with Thago. That's a good amount. Especially since he'll want to look over the ship loadouts, which I'm going to allow him to do because Thago's a good boy. 20, yes, I believe.
A good showing overall, I think.
Yeah, I really enjoyed some of those fights, and I'm glad to see that both rings had a missile spam fleet. Thank you, Tilt. Thank you, Archangel. I appreciate it immensely, except I don't. But yeah, we're done for now. Over the weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, I don't know which one yet. We will be back here to finish Ring 2 with Thago. But yeah, that's it for now. Any last comments, dear?
Just good luck to everybody. And it's been a good time, and yeah, may the best fleet win.
Alright, sayonara.
Bye.